This is a special presentation from News Channel Nebraska.
And your double dose of playoff football on News Channel Nebraska starts now as we are in Grand Island for Class A action. The Islanders hosting the defending champs, Omaha North, here on News Channel Nebraska. Tonight's game is presented by Anderson Ford, Lincoln Kia of Grand Island. See their huge selection of new and used cars and trucks, proudly serving the GI Hastings and Kearney areas, and a proud supporter of area athletes. Check them out at Anderson of Omaha, GrandIsland.com. Thank you so much for joining us, Brandon Axman and Andy Klassen with you. Andy, we got to see the early afternoon game. Pierce taking care of Shadron in Class C action, and now we have the nightcap, and this is a good one. Omaha North comes to town to take on Grand Island. Looking forward to a very good football match here tonight as we get to see the defending champs.
We're really in for a good game here, and we also have a contrast of styles, if you will. Grand Island likes to spread the ball around. They get creative on offense, and that run-pass option every other play, it seems like. Omaha North is a ground and pound machine, and they got the running backs to do it.
We'll be talking about those players shortly. Also a huge talking point for Grand Island entering tonight. They get starting quarterback Cole Evans back. Now, it all dates back to October 4th when Grand Island took on then number 3 Millard West. Double overtime game. Evans got knocked out in the first quarter with an ankle injury. Grand Island ultimately lost that game and then had a tough game right here on this field against Lincoln Southwest. Another game Evans was out of, but the good news, Grand Island did get the victory over Lincoln East 24-3 to round out the regular season. Evans came in the third, after the third series rather, finished out most of the game, and he is back under center, his first start since that Millard West game, and that is a huge boost that the Islanders are very happy to have.
They really are. No one's hiding it either. All the coaches are just putting all the cards on the table saying, yes, Cole is going to give us a lift tonight. His experience, he's a senior quarterback. He makes such great decisions with that run-pass option. I love what he can do also in the punting game. He does that rugby-style punt, and if no one's out there covering him, he's going to pick up a first down. Be interesting to see how much that'll come into play here tonight.
As for Omaha North, they lost to Creighton Prep, Millard West, and Omaha Burke. Dropped 3 of their first 4, but you look at those losses, they're all playoff teams in Class A, and since that point, they've rattled off 5 straight. Most notably, 2 weeks ago, took down then undefeated Bellevue West 52-49. That was a staple victory for this program, and the Vikings, they are hitting their postseason stride as they always seem to do, and they are ready and playing their best football.
They really are, and that game against Bellevue West was a thing of beauty. If you like old-fashioned ground and pound, run the football, they got down and they just kept with their rushing game, and they got their way back into it, much like the Grand Island game last year, where Grand Island got up on them. Look, Coach Larry Martin didn't get outside of himself or outside of the game plan. They just kept running the ball, and eventually, as time wound down, they're on top.
Exciting atmosphere here in Grand Island. The band's going, the fans are filing in, and both programs are ready to go. We'll take another quick break and talk about some key players as well as hear from both head coaches coming up next on News Channel Nebraska. Getting closer to kickoff here in Grand Island. Again, thank you for joining us for the Cornhusker Toyota Honda pregame show, Nebraska's only dual Toyota Honda dealer. There's no need to drive to Lincoln or Omaha when shopping for a new or pre-owned vehicle. Go see the sports fans at Cornhusker Toyota Honda in Grand Island. Now, we already talked about them a little bit, Andy, but key players. We mentioned that Omaha North, they are the old school I formation, ground and pound, and this rushing attack is led by a big, powerful senior in Xander Gray. We saw him here last year as a junior, and it's amazing he wasn't a senior then. He's 6'1", 225 pounds, but what's really amazing about him is his speed combined with his power.
Last year, they really just leaned on him on those fourth and short, third and short situations. This year, you're starting to see him develop a little bit of a wiggle to his game. He likes to bounce it outside now. But, you know, sometimes you see kids that are listed at 225, and they're not quite 225. He's every bit 225. Big kid. They're going to lean on him throughout the entire game. Already has over 1,500 yards on the season, averaging nearly 200 yards a game.
8 yards a carry, and he's found the end zone 20 times. So that's a pretty good guy to have on your fantasy team, if there was such a thing as high school fantasy football. But on the other side of the ball, we already mentioned him, key player Cole Evans back in the starting lineup. And when you talk to Jeff Tomlin, it's really twofold the benefits. Cole is obviously your 2-year starter, and he's a dual threat quarterback, and he said we're really hoping to get that pass completion up, and really which will force the defense to be more honest. On top of that, though, Carson Cahoy, who was filling in for Evans, is a starting receiver. Now he gets to go back to his position he's been playing, and that gives you a boost in the receiving core as well.
Well, you really hit the nail on the head there. Not only did you lose your starting quarterback, but you also lost your number 1, number 2 receiver in Cahoy. Now you get Cahoy back to receiver. You're just getting your best athletes out on the field. And then Cole Evans, he really opens up your playbook. You talk about the touchdown to interception ratio. His is stellar. You talk about the completion percentage. It's up above 65. You love to see those numbers. Cole Evans, I already touched on it, the decision making. That's where he excels, and you have the confidence to call the play you want at any point in the game when Evans is under center.
Dual threat quarterback as well, and we've talked about it all season as well. When you're a 2-year starter, just the grasp of the offense and the understanding, you're not hesitating and you're just executing. It's going to be very interesting to see just how well Evans can use that leg and cut on that ankle as he goes and tries to make some plays tonight with his feet.
Well, everyone's saying he's 100%. They're going to run him. So if there's going to be a crease, if there's an opportunity to run the ball with Cole, they're going to do it. And you talked about it, the maturity, how we saw him grow from last year to this year. We see the same thing from Gray at the running back position on Omaha North. To watch these two senior leaders go at it tonight is going to be a pretty special game. I'm excited.
Getting closer to kickoff here. We'll take another break. Hear from Coach Martin for Omaha North as well as head coach Jeff Tomlin for the Islanders. We're getting ready for Class A playoff football. Don't go anywhere here on News Channel Nebraska.
All right, I'm with head coach Tomlin here. Playoff football, you worked all season for it. You get to host the first round. What does that mean to you and your squad?
Well, it means a whole lot, playing in front of your home crowd and the kids playing in front of their parents and their families at home. I think it's a big deal, so we're grateful for it.
Now you're taking on an Omaha North squad here, that vintage Omaha North. They like to run the ball, they pound the ball. What do you guys got to do to try and slow that down?
Well, I think we've just got to do what we've done all season. We played solid defense all season, and it comes down to fundamentals, I think. I don't think you can do anything special. I think you have to play great, sound, fundamental football, and you have to tackle, and that's easier said than done against them. They're an excellent team. They're very well coached, but I think it's a real simple brand of football tonight. It's just basic fundamental football, and who does that the best.
Well, in football, it can be a game of attrition and getting healthy, staying healthy. You guys are getting healthy. Cole Evans, your quarterback's coming back. How's he going to affect the game tonight?
Well, he'll have a big impact just because of his experience and his competitiveness, and it helps us be deeper at receiver. There's just so many reasons, and Cole's one of our main leaders. And when you have one of your main leaders back, that's a big deal.
Now, you guys usually get off to a fast start, outscoring your opponents by about 15 points in the first quarter alone. Is that going to be imperative for tonight's game plan?
We need to get off to a good start. Absolutely. Scoring first is a team goal. Scoring last is a team goal. And along with winning started field position and winning the takeaway battle. But, I think starting fast is always good. And obviously they're going to try to do the same thing. And we'll see what happens.
Coach, good luck tonight. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
And welcome back here to Grand Island, Nebraska. Joining me now, Omaha North head coach Larry Martin. Coach, this has been something similar for this program. You're used to going to the playoffs. You're used to first round games. But as you get on the road and you take on Grand Island, how do you feel this year and this team as you get ready for another push?
Well, we're back out here again. Another tremendously well-coached football team Coach Tomlin and his staff have again. You can just tell how important their community pride is out here. So we're honored to have the opportunity to come out here and compete at a very high-quality football program. And they present a lot of challenges. So we're hopefully up for the battle out here, but great kids, you could tell, and hard-working young men.
You started the season 1-3, but looking back, those are against very good teams, but you guys have rattled off 5 straight. So in terms of where your team's at right now, how are you feeling?
Yeah, obviously we got some, success. We got some confidence, hopefully. Had a couple of good wins on the way there, you come on the road and play a tough team. This is going to be awfully difficult challenges for us tonight, but we're looking forward to it.
And lastly, last time you guys were here, you had to come from behind to get the victory, and you talked about not only what Coach Tomlin does, but the atmosphere here as well that Grand Island creates. So how do you expect to manage that and have your players manage that?
Well, we came a little bit earlier this year, and I don't know that you really manage it. You just try to talk to your kids and stuff like that, and at the end of the day, we got to make plays. But this community embraces all their sports and their programs, and with the leadership behind Miss Cindy Wells, who's a great lady who I have a lot of pride about, but it's going to be a great high school football game, and we'll just see who can make the most plays at the end of the game.
Coach, thank you for the time. Good luck tonight.
You bet. Thank you.
Stay with us here on News Channel Nebraska. Omaha North, the defending Class A champs, getting ready to take on Grand Island. We'll be back with football coming up on NCN. And welcome back here to Grand Island. We are getting ready to go here at Memorial Stadium. Brandon Axman, Andy Klassen with you for all of the action here tonight. Let's take a look at those starters as we're just under 5 minutes in it till kickoff here. As we'll get a look at that Grand Island offense first. Evans back under center. Sykes and John Riley, the leading rusher for Grand Island. Riley almost 800 yards so far. Brock Douglas, the leading receiver, he's eclipsed 500 yards, has 4 touchdowns as well. And you see Cahoy back in the receiver spot, Sextro, and then the big boys who have been there all year for this rushing attack, Allen Martinez, BLB, Krolikowski, and Cruz. You look, it's a 3-man front defensively for the Vikings in Vincent Gray and Butler. 4 linebackers who really are the leading tacklers. Right. Fairgood, Jones, Barnes, Kronchik especially. He nearly has 100 tackles, Andy. He is the heart and soul of this Viking defense. But something else to keep your eyes on, freshman defensive back for the Vikings, Keyshawn Williams, getting thrown in the fire. Will be interesting to see if the Islanders try to attack that.
Well, all coaching staffs like to say next man up. We're going to see that tonight with Omaha North having to go with a little bit of inexperience in a big game here on the road.
Linebacker Sam Sims donning the shield for the Islanders, running through the banner here as they are ready to go. And not much better, Andy, than getting to host a first-round home game to start the playoffs.
Well, that's how important the regular season really is. You want to put yourself in position to advance in the playoffs, throughout the playoffs, and you can't do that in a better way than hosting that first game at home, especially against a foe like Omaha North, the defending state champs.
And there you see Xander Gray, that big running back, leading the Vikings out, and he is getting them fired up. Let's take a look at that Omaha North offense as well as the Grand Island defense. Houston Fogelstrom, a player that can air the ball out. 7 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. Talking to Coach Martin, saying looking for more consistency from Fogelstrom. Then you have the 2 running back tandem of Xander Gray and Josh Taylor, but it's primarily the Xander Gray show. Weston Foster and Judson, the receivers, and then the big boys in Butler, Push, Wegner, Clark, and Kerr, who, again, they absolutely pave the way, this old-school I-formation offense for the Vikings.
And how fitting. One of those guys is named Push up front. They're pushing guys around, and that's his literal name.
Something else to keep your eye on for the Islanders, dealing with concussion issues. Ben Riley, the starting safety and receiver, is not going to be playing for the Islanders, so you have Brock Douglas, the leading receiver, also getting rotated back to the safety spot. But that's a big hurt. Ben Riley is the leading interception leader for the Islanders, rather, with 4 picks, and none bigger than that one against Millard West, where he picked off the screen to nearly give the Islanders the victory. It did force overtime, but that is something that the Islander defense will be dealing with here tonight.
Right, and he's such an instinctive player, a leader back in the defensive backfield there, and he's just a ball hawk. He just kind of has a feel of where the ball is going, and he just gets there sometimes before the receiver or even the running back, as we saw what you just mentioned there, out of the backfield.
And then there's a familiar face, Damon Benning, former Husker, a big part of this coaching staff, talking his boys up here as we're getting ready to go. Let's take a look at our 5 points of impact here, brought to you by 5 Points Bank. They're proud to support area coaches and athletes. 5 Points Bank, the better bank. First off, talking to head coach Larry Martin, he said we need to take care of the ball, and that makes sense. You have such fine margins, especially in playoff games. You can't afford to turn it over.
No, you really can. It's such a coaching cliche. Win the turnover battle, you win the game. Well, they say that because it's true. More times than not, who turns it over the most loses that ball game.
Point number 2 also for the Vikings. So be efficient on first down. Talking to Coach Martin, he said not only offensively but defensively as well. He said we want to have second and third and shorts, and we want to force the Islanders into second and third and long. All starts on first down.
Yeah, they really want to get themselves into 2nd and 6, 2nd and 5th, or 5 yards to go. They do not want to be behind the sticks, especially with their rushing attack.
Point number 3 now for the Islanders, who will be receiving the ball first. No explosive plays. That was something that ended up hurting the Islanders, specifically in the second half last year, and led to that Viking comeback.
Right. It kind of goes along with turnovers. No big plays. You can't give up big plays.
Point number 4 also for the Islanders here in our 5 points of impact, to be balanced on offense. Of course, you need to be, and Jeff Tomlin thinks Evans being back under center will be a big part of helping that happen.
And I really believe it will be. They'll be able to run the ball and sprinkle in their passing just enough to keep the defense honest.
And lastly, this goes for both teams. Limit the penalties. Can't afford to hurt yourself or shoot yourself in the foot here tonight if you want to come out with the victory.
No, you can't give yards away to teams, especially the caliber that we're going to see here tonight.
Well, we are underway. Glad you're with us. Class A playoff football as the Islanders get the ball first, and Douglas returns this one out across the 20. We'll get our first look again at Cole Evans and his first start since that Millard West contest back on October 4th.
And Evans has such a strong arm. We've seen it time and time again from Brock Douglas. He really likes to run the fly route, the skinny post. He can get upfield in a hurry. Evans has the arm strength to lead him and get some of those explosive plays that Larry Martin was worried about here tonight.
So we'll hand it off, and an interesting look here, Kojo Atikpahu. He's had maybe 10 carries all season, but he gets the first here tonight for a short pickup of about 3.
Well, that might have been a carry that would have gone to Ben Riley, so we're already seeing the coaching adjustments being made.
So John Riley, the leading rusher. Now Atikpahu lined up in the receiver spot, and they give it to him on the jet sweep. Now Cahoyd, double reverse pass, and Evans hits Atikpahu, and he drops it right in the bread basket. My goodness, Andy, but this is to a T what Larry Martin was talking to me about earlier this week, saying Jeff Tomlin will throw the kitchen sink at you, and he's done it for years.
Yep, and once you see that initial ball carry, give the ball away, as a defense, you kind of lose sight of him. No one stayed with Atikpahu, and you got to reel that one in.
So 3rd and 7 here, back to the ground, and nothing doing for John Riley. Gets maybe 2 there, and so after a trick play that doesn't quite work out for the Islanders, it'll be a 3 and out.
Yeah, and you saw the counter run there, kind of a jet sweep look, what it was setting up, and the play was there. Grand Island unable to connect.
And there's that rugby-style punt booted down the sideline, and we'll see where this one is marked out at.
Looks to be right around the 50-yard line. Excellent starting field position for the Vikings.
Well, there you see longtime head coach Jeff Tomlin pumping the fist. 16th year with the Islander program, and it does not matter who the Islanders are playing. I talk to every opposing coach every week, and they have no shortage of just amazing things and praise to say about Jeff Tomlin and what he does for this Islander program and community. 33 years total, but 16 at the helm for the Islanders as Xander Gray gets his first carry.
And that's how you know you're doing things right, when your peers speak about you in such high regard. Coach Tomlin has been doing it for a long time, and he's doing it right.
So Gray gets 3 on his first carry. Talking to Coach Martin as well, he said, this is going to be one of the biggest challenges we've seen, especially this front 5 for the Islanders in terms of those 3 linemen and 2 linebackers. He said they are talented, they're big, and they're physical, and we know we're going to get hit as Fogelstrom overshoots Bryant Wesson on that one.
Yeah, it really is, and that was a little bit of a question mark going into the season for Grand Island. They had a lot of good players, a lot of athleticism up front, but not much experience due to a great senior class in front of a lot of these guys. So this was their first year of being a starting unit together, and man, they've really answered the bell here all season long.
We'll give those boys credit. That's Mateo Martinez, Blake Rodebush, and Alex Rodriguez. Those three up front. On third, we have play action. Fogelstrom, plenty of time, letting it fly, and he connects. Ball hauled in by Jalen Foster, and that will move the Sticks a pickup of 12.
Real nice design play there for Fogelstrom to be able to get away from the pressure and look up his man, Foster, who ran a real nice drag route across the field there, making himself available for his quarterback.
Foster, 254 yards receiving and a score entering tonight. So that puts the Vikings near the 35. Pitch to Gray. And Gray, just a big physical runner.
Yeah.
And you see, able to get low as well and put the shoulder on.
Well, you don't run for 191 yards a game using bad technique, if you will. Gray does an excellent job of getting low and running behind his pads.
Pickup of 3. Again, 1,500-yard rusher for the Vikings. There's that I formation, another pitch to Gray. He has a little bit of a seam off tackle, running over players, and finally brought down. And, Gray looking a little shaken up here.
Oh, that's not what you want to see if you're an Omaha North fan or anybody for that matter. Young man looks like he's in a little bit of pain there.
And look at that right elbow. Looked like it bounced right off the helmet of Kean Wentling.
Oh, there it was.
And, and actually,
got bent up a little bit.
Replay brought to you by Great Western Bank. We're going to take a break here. Just over 9 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Omaha North driving. Welcome back. This is what happened again on the carry from Xander Gray. Look at that right arm. And, you can never diagnose, Sandy, but some type of hyperextension, that didn't look particularly good, but he was able to get off the field with the help of the training staff, and that is something we're certainly going to be keeping our eyes on the rest of the way. You have a 15-yard rusher going out early, and that changes everything in terms of what you do offensively. And
it really could have a huge impact on this game here this evening. That's too bad because that was a well-designed play. You saw a little bit of everything from Xander Gray, running with power, running with speed, shedding tacklers. And he also had a real nice block from a receiver, Jaden Long, that kind of sprung him out on the edge there.
So we got our first look at Treyon Fairgood-Jones as Fogelstrom pitches the screen outside, and that's the second reception for Jalen Foster. Ball pops out, but the whistle had already blown. So Fairgood-Jones has 491 yards and 4 touchdowns entering tonight as well, averaging 6.6 yards a carry. And actually, talked to Damon Benning beforehand. He said, you're going to like this Fairgood-Jones guy. He's going to get his fair share of carries. Now, I don't think Benning was imagining this many at least, potentially, but he has some talent as a junior.
No, the number that really popped out at me was at 6.6 yards per carry. Everybody would love to have a second string running back with that type of average.
And it's 3rd and 4, and Jones looks like he might be a half yard short. We'll see where they mark him.
And if they are short, you got to think the Vikings are going to go for it here early. You're in the red zone. You kind of got the Grand Island defense on their heels a little bit, and it appears their jumbo package is entering the game.
Fourth and less than a yard. Vikings lining up for it. Pitch to Fairgood-Jones, cuts it up. He has enough for a first down.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Gang tackle there, but they marked him at the forward progress.
Real nice pursuit there from Grand Island after the first down was picked up, and I was looking at DeAnthony Cribbs, the 190-pound fullback, laid a real nice block right at the line of scrimmage to kind of get Fairgood Jones that yardage he needed.
To the air, and Vogelstrom trying to find Wesson. He may have been out of bounds had he caught it. That was close, though.
I still like what Vogelstrom was doing there. He put the ball on that fade route where only his guy could get to it. That's the one bugaboo, if you will, from Vogelstrom. He has 7 touchdowns, but he also has 7 interceptions.
You see Coach Larry Martin as well as the training staff checking out Gray. Again, huge injury potentially. Fairgood Jones right up the middle, and he takes it in from 5 yards out, and the Vikings are on the board.
Nearly untouched, running through and around traffic. Nothing flashy here, just right up the gut. Look at that little move right at the goal line.
5-yard touchdown for Fairgood Jones with 6:45 left here in the first quarter. The Vikings strike first. Extra point is up and good. So Islanders will have a chance to answer here. The Vikings, though, strike here in the first quarter. We'll be back. Welcome back here to Grand Island, Nebraska. The Vikings strike. Fairgood Jones gets the 5-yard touchdown score. I'd like to remind you that UNK is the most affordable university in the state, and they are our streaming sponsor tonight. Quality academics matched with low tuition makes the University of Nebraska at Kearney a wise choice. Apply today and start making a difference. Visit unk.edu.
Omaha North kind of giving Grand Island a taste of their own medicine with that fast start. Grand Island's accustomed to jumping out to an early lead. North with the early touchdown.
Kojo Atikpa, who we've seen him touch the ball more offensively or on special teams this game than we have all season. Now, he's done great at the lockdown corner position, but Coach Tomlin wanting him to get involved on the offensive side as well.
Well, he's a playmaker on defense, and that a lot of times can translate to the offensive side of the football. I really like what they did those first 3 plays. They handed off to Atikpa. They wanted to get the ball in his hands. Then they went right back to him on a pass, and he was just unable to reel it in.
So a 3 and out on the Islanders' first offensive possession. We'll see what they do here. Evans getting the call from the sideline. John Riley alongside him. Riley will get the carry, flying in, making the tackle is DeAnthony Cribbs, the junior linebacker, having none of it.
Yeah, we were talking about him in the pregame there. He's one of those leaders from that senior-laden linebacker core, shooting the gap there, getting there in a hurry.
It's another quick snap. Evans in the pocket to the air, and he makes his first completion. And that was Ace McInnes. So the other cornerback getting involved offensively here.
No, that was a real nice play design from GI, and Cole Evans recognizing what was going on there. Cribbs actually put his hand down in the ground, moved up to a D lineman position there from his middle linebacker position, threw the ball to where that linebacker was.
3rd and 4 here, and that ball deflected. No flag either. A few people were wanting it. That's Steven Krawczyk, the heart of the Viking defense, making a play.
Yeah, real tight coverage here. May have been there just a second early, but, you know, I'm an old defensive back. I don't mind a little bit of contact here and there.
High punt. This one will be down inside the 20.
That's the type of rugby punt that you want to see. Last time, I thought the punter waited just a half second too long. The pressure got to him, and he gave Omaha North just really good field position with like a net yardage of 12 yards on the punt. That time, got it up in the air, nice spiral on it, actually went over the heads of the return men.
And this isn't Xander Gray, but it's somebody with speed charging down the field. Levon Llewellyn all the way across midfield. Now Levon Llewellyn, a sophomore, 5'8", 215. He has 375 yards on the season as well.
Yeah, you start looking up and down the Omaha North roster, you're like, how many kids do you got on this team over 200 pounds? A lot of times Llewellyn is using that fullback position. They got him on the quick hitter, got him up the sideline. Big play for the Vikings.
48-yard carry for Llewellyn. Again, Xander Gray went out last series with an elbow injury. Fogelstrom now to the air. Jump ball, and McInnes was on the coverage. And was incomplete, looking for Wesson.
You saw receiver and defensive back kind of getting tangled up there. Officials allowing a little bit of contact to play out here. I'm glad I didn't see a flag there, because you didn't see a flag on the previous possession when Grand Island had the ball.
Now the instant replay made possible by Great Western Banks in Grand Island, Kearney, Hastings, Holdridge, and Broken Bow. Hometown bankers empowered to make fast decisions so you can be great with Great Western Bank. Back to Llewellyn. Finds space again, and there he goes up the sideline. Llewellyn with breakaway speed and pushed out inside the 10.
Tell you what, Llewellyn made one heck of a move there on the edge that got him out around and into space that really enabled him to get up the sideline again. Look at this move.
Decisive cuts. A pickup of 22.
You said it. We're seeing a little bit of speed here from these running backs. We knew they were powerful. I don't know if we knew they were this fast.
First and goal to go inside the 10. Fairgood Jones with the hesitation, and he's tackled inside the 5.
Now that's the type of run. That's why Damon Benning was talking about Fairgood Jones in the pregame. There wasn't much there, but he saw just enough of a crease, and he cut it upfield. He didn't just string the play out for a long, drawn-out gain of nothing. When he saw a little bit of daylight, he put his head down and got upfield and picked up some yardage.
Second and goal from the 2. There's the pitch to Fairgood Jones. Cuts it up, and he scampers in for his second trip to the end zone. And the Vikings take a 13-zip lead.
Yeah, Fairgood Jones is having a fairly good start to this game here. Once again, breaking a tackle in the backfield, and once he got by that first man, untouched into the end zone.
Chance for the PAT here. Jared Venner, the senior kicker. Again, a focal point of the special teams. Larry Martin said Venner is quite the field goal kicker and a weapon that he loves to use when need be as he splits the uprights there.
Yeah, that was solid right down the middle. This has really been a game of big plays for Omaha North. They've been able to rip off a couple big runs. They had some good field position, and they have capitalized on both fronts here in the first quarter.
14-zip lead for the defending champs. We'll be back. So third offensive series about to begin here for the Islanders as Brock Douglas returns it to the 35. And they're looking to get something going offensively here for the Islanders. We'd like to remind you that this game is help made possible by Central Nebraska Orthopedics. From advanced surgical techniques to sports medicine expertise, Central Nebraska Orthopedics is dedicated to the motion of life. But Andy, 2 3 and outs here for the Islander offense. They really need to settle in and do it quickly.
They really do. You got to think they're going to lean on Cole Evans here. Keep the ball in his hands, whether it's running the ball or passing.
And there's a throw overshooting Douglas. Brings up 2nd and 10.
Yeah, and you just get the feeling that Grand Island's timing is just off, just a half second or so. And this offense is predicated on good timing. We might be seeing an early effect here of a quarterback that hasn't had a lot of experience as of late being thrust into a high-pressure type of game here, first round of the playoffs.
Fimo Sykes motions to the backfield. And he'll get the handoff. And Sykes breaking a couple tackles. Gets a couple extra yards, and they'll bring up 3rd and about 6.
I'm always just blown away by that play and how well it works every single time for Sykes. It's kind of a delayed run, so you get the pressure in your face, and as soon as you got all these defenders around you, that's when the quarterback hands it off to Sykes, and he somehow always picks up 4 or 5 yards.
Play action. Evans throws it and cannot connect. That was Sextro, who was unable to haul it in. Another 3 and out.
Yeah, we're kind of at a point now for Grand Island where somebody has to step up and make a play. Whether it's on offense, defense, you kind of get the feeling here. Everyone's looking around for someone else to make a play. You got to be the man. You got to step up and make a play here for your team.
Matt Jurgensmeyer with the punt. And cut back by Mr. Fairgood Jones, who gave Atikbahu a little piggyback ride.
I credit Atikbahu for sticking with the play and doing what he could do. Once the runner got beyond him, he got himself back in the play in a big way, jumping on the young man's back.
So again, something else that's been a strength is this Grand Island defense and how stingy and formidable they are. But right now, Omaha North, even with their backup running backs, haven't had too big of an issue moving the ball.
And they're just going right off of off tackle here, hitting the A and B gap quite a bit.
Nice snag once again by Jalen Foster, his 3rd reception now. For a nice pickup as we there see head coach Larry Martin, 19th year with Omaha North, and what he's done with this program has been astounding. 5 of the last 6 years, the Vikings have made the state championship. They've come away with 3 state titles in that time. He's a graduate from Northern Illinois University and is quite the football connoisseur as well.
Yeah, and Omaha North wasn't all that hot before he took over, and what I really credit Coach Martin is he plays to the strength of his teams. Back when Niles Paul was a receiver, they used to air it out constantly, not like Texas Tech or anything, but they put the ball in the air way more than they do today. He just plays to the strength of his players, and I think that's a telltale sign of a really good coach.
Llewellyn once again refusing to go down. He has 3 carries for 82 yards.
Pretty good average so far.
So he's going to stay in, gets the pitch here, and juking out tacklers. There he goes, Llewellyn. Brought down near the 20. Pickup of 19. This is really astounding.
Yeah.
We have not seen a team run on Grand Island like this all season long.
I think too many times Grand Island is trying to take these big backs down at their feet, down at their knees, which that's where I would go too. But the first guy there can't just allow himself to miss and dive on the ground. You got to wrap up and allow the pursuit to get there and finish him off. Once that first guy misses, that running back has too much space behind to make a play.
And that one just dropped by Foster. That play's been there, though.
Yeah. And you have enough to deal with in just the running game alone from Omaha North. If that passing game starts to click, and we've seen some really nice completions here from Fogelstrom, it's going to be a long evening for any defense.
2nd and 10. Back to Fairgood Jones, who has space right up the middle. Ball pops out, and McGinnis has it. I don't know if I heard a whistle. I didn't hear a whistle, Andy.
I think the officials are going to huddle here and have a little discussion. Was forward progress stopped, or did the ball come out before the runner was down? We got to wait and see here.
And they rule the Vikings down. Let's take another look at it here. Krolikowski made the strip. There's Fairgood Jones. He's up, and he was down.
Yep,
so
they got the call. Yep, they got the call right. We have the luxury of replay. The officials, Johnny on the spot, got the call right again.
So 3rd and short. Fairgood Jones on the pitch. Again, makes those first wave of defenders miss. Still, though, no gain.
And now I think you're going to start seeing this Grand Island defense get a little bit more aggressive, get a little bit more creative up front. They're going to want to meet these big ball carriers from Omaha North, the Vikings, up front at the line of scrimmage with a bevy of linebackers, defensive ends crashing down. They got to make some changes here up front.
So we're getting our look at Jared Venner, his first field goal attempt, 33-yarder. And the leg is there. And Venner nails it.
Good looking kick. Another very nice offensive drive for the Omaha North Vikings. Anytime you come away with points on the board, you got to be happy.
So this rushing attack right now, absolutely wearing down this Islander defense.
Well, the majority of it's coming from big plays. It's not just 4 yards here, 5 yards there. It's the big plays that's really killing the Islanders.
And of course, compound that with the fact that it's been 3 and outs, and that's not a recipe for success. See what the Islanders can do here.
Credit the Islanders for tightening up there in the red zone, forcing the field goal attempt. If you're looking for a silver lining there, but you're exactly right. That's a great point, Brandon. Their defense has been out on the field the entire time. They haven't had a rest at all this entire first quarter. The offense, if for no other reason, needs to sustain a drive here to give their defense a break.
Benner now to boot this one away. And he had the deciding field goal in that Bellevue West victory. Not a game-winning field goal, but a field goal that he knocked in. And Coach Martin was quick to point out that, hey, it was a 3-point difference in that one. And also they had a 6-0 victory over Lincoln Southeast. That was a game in which they didn't have Xander Gray, and that was when they just grinded out. And again, Venner was the one getting it done.
That's a confidence builder for your kicker. Also for your entire offensive unit, your number one running backs out of game. You still found a way to win the game. Omaha North playing with a lot of confidence right now heading into the postseason.
Islanders will start here from their own 30. Riley gets the carry, cuts it up, and there's a 5-yard pickup.
That was a real nice run for Riley. He wanted to get to the outside. He saw the lane, though, and cut it upfield. Picked up a 5 yards there on first down. Keep the sticks moving.
And now you have a 2nd and short, 2nd and 5 at least. And as I say that, we have movement on the line. And that will basically cancel out that first down run.
Oh, that'll drive a coaching staff crazy. You just had a real nice play on first down. You saw a little bit of timing come back into your offense, and then you give it all back on 2nd down.
Sykes motions across. Here comes pressure on the outside. Evans goes down. Sacked by Amar Vincent, the 6'6" senior lineman.
Yeah, real nice inside swim move, and he just kept coming. You had a running back, fullback in there to try and help with the blocking matters, to no avail there. Pressure hitting home.
And the Islanders are going to take this to the second quarter. Vincent now with 5 sacks on the season, but Omaha North 17-zip lead after the first quarter. We'll be back. Welcome back here to Grand Island, start of the second quarter. There's another look at Xander Gray, the 1,500-yard senior rusher. Went out very early in the first quarter. We haven't seen him since. That elbow injury, not sure if he's going to come back as Evans goes to the air, and it's off the fingertips of his receiver. And that was Wentling, just who couldn't haul it in.
And it looked like Wentling had the half step there.
That was just another issue of going up and making a play, helping out your quarterback, helping out your team. Now that's a tough play. Ball's in the air for a long time. You had defenders right with you, stride for stride. But in order to claw your way back into this game, if you're a Grand Island fan here, you need to start seeing some of those plays being completed.
Punt bounces back near midfield where it's down by Atikbahu. So another short field here for the Vikings.
Yeah, and you can really credit that another 3 and out to Vinson. He's a team leader in sacks with 5 now on the season, averaging over a half sack a game. He really blew things up there on second down.
Back to the ground game. No surprise there.
Yeah.
Short pickup as Piles finally dealt with Llewellyn. Wow, it's not a double-digit yard carry. That's his first. It's been for less than 10.
Now, Omaha North has had a lot of great success throughout this first half here, just running the football right at you and then being able to rip off some big plays within their own 3 yards in a cloud of dust scheme, if you will. Omaha North loves to run the ball anyway. Now that they got a 17-point lead to lean on, look for them to run the ball even more here throughout the second quarter.
Timeout taken by the Vikings, and this is what the first quarter looked like. And Mr. Llewellyn, again, he's over 80 yards on 5 carries. And this is again with Xander Gray being out. This is just a sophomore. Levon Llewellyn making all sorts of plays, and it's Mr. Fairgood Jones who's found the end zone twice.
Yeah, and I really like how the two running backs kind of complement each other. Fairgood Jones, a little lighter on his feet, has a little bit of a wiggle to his game. Llewellyn, kind of more of that fullback body type. He also has some speed, as you saw in those little highlights there. It's quite a 1-2 punch. Scary to think that the number 1 back isn't in there.
So there's another pitch to Llewellyn. Gets enough for a first down, about 9.
It was like Llewellyn could hear me talk. Had a couple real nice moves there inside. He's not just a power runner. He's got some wiggle to his game as well.
That puts the ball on the 37. And this Grand Island defense desperately needing to stop.
Yeah, they might have to start taking some risk here.
Vogelstrom to the air, lets it fly, and just over the hands of Jalen Foster. Has 3 receptions, is the leading receiver so far in terms of catches tonight. Well, we'd like to remind you that Fireplace Stone and Patio is a proud supporter of area athletes. Warm up after the game with Heatilator inserts, the #1 preferred brand. Beautiful warmth awaits at Fireplace Stone and Patio. Inspired living inside and out as there is inspired running by Treod Fairgood Jones as the ground game continues to have success here.
Yeah, Fairgood Jones makes a real good cut. And then he has some power. Look at that, running between the tackles, running through tacklers. Tikbahu coming from the cornerback position from the bottom of your screen there, coming up and making the tackle, but not after another big yardage chunk play from the running game of Omaha North.
Now back to Fairgood Jones, cuts it up the middle, stood up. That was after a pickup of 17. He's still going. Whistle's not blowing. And that'll be about a 5-yard gain.
Running back kept his legs churning there. That's what you want to see from your running backs. And the offensive lineman didn't give up on the play either. A lot of times you start seeing guys peel off. Not the case here for North.
Ball now on the 25.
And virtually the entire playbook is open here. You can take a shot if you want to, or you can just go back to your running game.
Llewellyn tries to bounce it outside. Another rare short pickup for the sophomore.
Well, you're seeing Grand Island make the adjustment. They're leaving their corners out, manned up, one-on-one here. Their safeties are already brought down. They're really loading up the box here.
So a big third down. To the air, Vogelstrom throwing it to the corner, and it's off the hands of the target once again, Foster, and that was put right on the money.
Oh, Jalen Foster would like to have that one back. We saw him make a couple really nice catches in the first quarter. This one right off the hands. It would have been a tough catch. Don't get me wrong, Brand, but we know Foster is more than capable of making that play.
So Venner hit one from 33. This will be a 31-yarder. Plenty of length once again. He might have pulled it, and did. At this point, the Islanders will take anything, and that is a positive for a GI team that they haven't had too many positives as of yet.
That's what I was thinking. You take what you can get. Field goal went wide left here. Good look at it from our camera crew down on the field. And yeah, GI will take it.
You got to get something going offensively, though.
And I feel like so many plays were right there, just like we kind of saw with Foster. Had a touchdown in his hands. More times than not, North has been making that play, making that catch here tonight. Grand Island really hasn't made any of those plays.
End around for a Tikbahu. And there's a positive play. The first down as a Tikbahu picks up 13 on the end around.
Well, that's exactly what the doctor ordered. If you're a Grand Island fan, get your speedy guys outside in some space. Wouldn't be surprised if they run a similar looking play here and maybe do a play action off of it.
So Riley now getting around the edge. Cuts it back up, pickup of 4.
And now you're starting to see the Islanders play with a little bit of pace. That's what they like to do. They've been doing it all season long very well, whether it's Evans or Cahoy. Not much time in between snaps wasted here.
Sykes motions across. They fake the handoff to Francel, and it's McInnes on the outside edge. That's enough for a first down, pickup of 6.
Franson, real nice catch there and getting upfield. And let's not lose sight of Carson Cahoy. Took on 2 defenders there. Really a nice block downfield from the receiver spot there. Got his man to the first down marker.
And in trouble is Evans, and brought down for the sack. And a big loss on the play. Flying in there was Avion Barnes. That is his 6th sack of the season.
Excellent time blitz. Omaha North needed to make a play, needed to stop this momentum from Grand Island's offensive unit. Well-timed blitz.
There's a little dump off to Riley, who gets back close to the initial line of scrimmage. So 3rd and 10. Evans has time. Back to the air and goes through Douglas's hands. And Islanders will have to punt.
And that's a real tough position for any offense to be in. 3rd and 10, 3rd and long. You really got to credit the defensive unit of Omaha North. Once again, blowing things up on 2nd down, getting Grand Island's offensive unit behind the sticks out of rhythm.
High punt. Fair catch made at the 25 by Fairgood Jones. So this will be close to the longest field the Vikings have seen.
Yeah, Omaha North has really won the field position battle here early on throughout this first half. And when they do get good field position, they've been able to capitalize on it. Every single drive has ended in points except for the very last one. And you always hear coaching staffs talk about that, how important field position is and how important it is to win the field position battle. Omaha North way out in front here this first half.
Vogelstrom, one-on-one coverage on the outside, and it's hauled in. Oh my goodness. Wesson in a foot race. He's going to take this one 75 yards. No, he stepped out of bounds, but what a catch by the athletic senior.
Wesson did an excellent job of adjusting to the ball when it was in the air. He had his man beat. He didn't give away the position there. He waited just a little bit of a hesitation in his route and then went up and high pointed the ball. Look at this play.
Wentling on the coverage, and that is just a talented receiver making plays. And credit McInnes for just getting a little bit of a touch on the shoestring. 65-yard pickup in total. Now there's the handoff to Llewellyn. And he stood up. Short gain of 2.
Yeah, if Bryant Wesson could have had that one back, I bet he would have tried to fall towards the inside of the field, not outside of the field, because he did keep his feet there, and you know he wanted to get into the end zone.
Second and a goal here from the 7.
Look at those big running backs in the I formation.
Llewellyn once again cuts it up and rumbles into the end zone for the score. The Vikings are cruising.
Nothing fancy, just student body left, toss left. Fullbacks, offensive ends, everybody doing their job, hat on a hat, leading the running back right to the end zone. Nice move there. And Llewellyn doing things in a big way here for the Vikings this first half.
That is the 6th trip to the end zone for Levon Llewellyn this season. And that puts the Vikings up 24-0 here midway through the second. We'll take a break. Grand Island looking for answers. Welcome back here midway through the second quarter. Brock Douglas returns it for the Islanders across the 30. As this Islander offense desperately needing a touchdown here.
Yeah, they do, and more than anything, they need to just have a sustainable drive. Pick up a couple first downs, get some positive motion movement for your offense here before you go into the first half, and you'd like to get points, but more than that, you just want to see a couple first downs.
Islanders will start from the 31. Handoff Riley. Brought down again.
Been so impressed all night long, Brandon, with that defensive line play of Omaha North. The defensive ends are crashing down when they're supposed to. They're staying home when they're supposed to. And the two middle guys are really blowing things up here for that front 4.
Actually, loss of 1, 2nd and 11 here. Back to Riley. And he gets about that yard loss back. So 3rd and long here upcoming.
Yeah, one of those guys in the middle, Braden Ballou, he's one of those guys really blowing things up in the middle there, and you saw him get great penetration on that last play as well.
Trips here to the near side. Evans in the pocket. Going for it up the middle. No catch. And that was Cahoy. Unable to bring it in.
Oh, that would have been a real difficult catch for Cahoy to make there. The ball just a little bit behind him. You saw him try to make the adjustment late in the play, but the defense was there. Great play again. You're seeing a true team effort here defensively and offensively for Omaha North.
Jurgen Smyer gets the punt away and takes a nice bounce for the Islanders. And it'll be down near the 20. Still, though, you're Grand Island. You got to come up with a stop now. I keep saying Grand Island has to do this, Grand Island has to do that, but that's the scenario right now. Omaha North is having a heyday.
It really is the position that Grand Island has put themselves in here. And we said that in the pregame, though, like, oh, well, you got to stop Omaha North's running game. Well, that's easier said than done. They got experienced offensive linemen with really good size and speed, and we know, we were seeing it here tonight, that they have a bevy, a stable of running backs that can all get it done.
Very good Jones, again, spinning away from defenders. That time it was Wemhoff, and that's really been the difference. It seems like whoever's carrying the ball, they're always making that first defender miss.
They really are. I keep wanting to go back to the power game of Omaha North because they do. They run with great power. You saw at the end of the run there for Farragut Jones. But the little spin move, the wiggle, the jump, cut that he used there early in that run, you're seeing just how versatile these running backs really are.
2nd and 5. Toss once again to Farragut Jones. That'll be close to a first down.
Yeah, North more than comfortable to just run the ball here. Got under 3.5 minutes here left in the second quarter. Sometimes you see teams want to put the ball in the air. Times becoming an issue. Not for the Vikings. They're more than comfortable with a 24-point lead to keep things on the ground here. And it's just their offense anyway.
Big 3rd and 2 here for the Islanders. Desperately need a stop. And we'll see. Francel made the tackle. I think they held Llewellyn short there.
You really got to credit Francel for coming up and making that hit from his outside linebacker position. But I don't know if North is going to elect to punt the ball here. That first unit's still out on the field.
And if you're Coach Larry Martin, you like your chances.
Yeah.
In terms of what you've been doing so far.
And why would you want to give the ball back to a potent offense, allow them to get any kind of momentum heading into halftime? If North does go for it here, I don't mind the call whatsoever.
And Coach Martin will take a timeout to talk things over or come up with the right play. There is that risk. And now it's, if you're the Vikings, you'd think it's a low risk if you go for it and you stop it. That might be the window of opportunity you give Grand Island if they get a touchdown. You know, like that's a little bit of a spark and a little bit of life. And the way your defense has been playing, why not boot it away?
Exactly. I think initially Coach Martin was thinking, yeah, we just go for it on 4th and short. We've been dominating up front. We want to close this thing out. We don't want to give any momentum to Grand Island. But you're right. The flip side could be devastating. You could just hand them here a really short field to work with and do exactly what you're saying, Brandon. Breathe life into a very stagnant, sputtering offense here.
Looking at the personnel coming out on the field. And it appears the Vikings will do just that, punt this away.
Yeah, that 24-point lead looks pretty good right now. You don't want to get too greedy. I mean, you've got a lot of good things going for you here in the first half. If you're a North fan, I don't mind this call either.
Douglas to return. Has a chance for a return. Douglas, the electrifying player for Grand Island, brought down near the 40.
You know,
field.
Brock Douglas has had a couple real nice returns in the kickoff return game as well. And what he does, he doesn't waste any motion. Look at him just get straight up field here. Yeah, North and South return men, they're my favorite kind of guys. You know, they don't get caught up trying to get to the edge, trying to get up the sideline. They pick up the yardage where they can get it.
Again, the Vikings will be getting the ball to start the second half as well. So Grand Island desperately needing to put points on the board. Play action. Evans has Douglas, who's turned around, and Douglas takes it in from 40 yards. And that may be the spark the Islanders were looking for.
It's like Evans and Douglas were listening to you, Brandon, that they needed a play. They needed to get in the end zone. All right, how about a little play action? Let me look at my number one receiver, Brock Douglas, streaking to the end zone. He got the step on his man, got his big paws up in the air, high pointed the ball perfectly, got in the end zone. The Islander offense needed that, and they needed that desperately.
And what an adjustment by Douglas. For a moment, I thought when he turned himself around, he was going to mess himself up and have the ball go over his head, but he knew exactly what he was doing.
Or even trip over his own feet. You know, he was going full bore there towards the end zone. Kept his feet, actually high pointed the ball. What an adjustment. What a play for this Grand Island team heading in to halftime.
Of course, the coaching staff, Tomlin, Coach Wells, and everybody else, happy that happened. Something even just to go into halftime rather and just say, hey, we did something right here at the end of that half.
Exactly.
And carry something positive into the locker room. Now, again, there's still 2 minutes to go. You don't want to fall asleep defensively, but that is what we were talking about, and Coach Tomlin was talking about, that Cole Evans offers you when he's under center.
That looked like a little bit of a deep crossing route. Douglas breaking it off and getting vertical. I think he kind of lost his defender when he made that move. Evans finding him in the end zone. And if you're on the other side of that, due to that Brock Douglas return on the punt, if you're an Omaha North fan, you're saying, we should have went for it on fourth down.
Well, that's not what you want if you're Grand Island. Just kick the ball out of play, legal procedure.
So North is going to get good field position once again, and we've seen Fogelstrom have some success through the air. 2-minute drill coming into play here for the Vikings. Because you know Omaha North would like to get that 7 points back.
And 2 minutes and change is more than enough time to do it.
Well, that's really been the MO of the North offense, the big plays, the quick hitters. And a lot of those plays have just been simple tosses left, toss right.
Fogelstrom going to roll out, being chased by Francel, who forces him out of play. Still, though, a nice gain for the quarterback.
Yeah. I think everybody was looking at the running backs and the fullbacks going left. Kind of forgot about Fogelstrom and his ability to run the ball. Real nice pickup. 8 yards on first down.
Second and short. Very good. Jones again with that stutter step, gets to the outside. Man. Brought down by Wentling, but not after a big gain.
What a talented runner. That play was designed to go in the B gap, if you will, just off to the left side there between the guard and center. Nothing was doing, so he cut it back around to the top of your screen there. Had the speed and the agility to turn this into a real nice game.
Vikings now in Islander territory on the 47. Fogelstrom again to the air. McInnes in the coverage. And he was blanketing Wesson on that occasion.
Yeah, real nice defense there for Grand Island. I like how North is keeping the pressure. If you're going to go man-to-man, one-on-one on the outside, we're going to test you every now and then. We're going to take a shot here and there. Ooh, and it looked like Wesson may have been able to reel that one in. Kind of short-armed it there right at the end.
I've been very impressed with Fogelstrom's arm and his touch he has on these passes.
Yeah, his accuracy has been on point here this evening.
Llewellyn on the toss, and he just tripped up there. Gain of 1. It's a third and long here, Andy.
So you got to think North is going to put the ball in the air. And if they do so, that'll stop the clock. May give Grand Island another shot with just under a minute left to go here.
Islanders with all 3 timeouts. That's looking ahead, though. Your defense has to make a play here first.
See, and this is smart coaching from Larry Martin, letting that clock wind itself down just in case you don't pick it up here.
Some trickery here. Pitch and reverse. And outside contain is kept. Atikpahu trying to run him down, and my goodness, what a gain, what a play by Jalen Foster. And that is just an athlete making something happen for his team.
Yeah.
Look at Fogelstrom here.
Yeah, Fogelstrom on Franzel is really the block that made this happen. And then that was just pure athleticism and speed as Foster reverses fields. Atikpahu ran a long ways that play. He was the bottom corner, trailed him the entire way, and actually recorded the tackle.
28-yard gain on 3rd and 9, and that is what you call a demoralizing play if you're Grand Island. Here's Llewellyn.
Ooh.
Pushed out of bounds after a nice pickup.
Llewellyn just riding his offensive lineman for another real nice gain on 1st down. And North has a timeout in their back pocket here. They're back in the red zone, place where they've been throughout this entire first half, the red zone.
Pickup of 7. 2nd and short here upcoming.
That was another kind of perk there for Llewellyn. He got out of bounds, conserving some of that clock, not forcing North to call the timeout.
Llewellyn again picks up a 1st down as he's tackled inside the 10.
And I believe he got out of bounds again. That is just textbook what you want to do if you're an offense.
And up to the line quickly. Fogelstrom spikes the ball here with 19 to play.
I don't know if a linebacker may not have got off the field for Grand Island. Let's see what the call is. Yeah, the flag came from the line judge at the bottom of your screen as you had a linebacker streaking off the field. I don't know if he got there. And that is the call. And I guess Llewellyn didn't get out of bounds that previous play. That's why North was trying to spike the ball there to stop the clock on 1st down.
So that puts the ball on about the 7. 1st and goal. Or excuse me, the 2-yard line.
I thought it looked a little closer than 7 yards.
It's a far way up here in the press box.
No, but
that sounds more right.
That was a half a distance type of penalty there. And what a fortunate turn of events for North. They're just trying to spike the ball, stop the clock. Instead, they get about a 3-yard gain out of the deal. End the down.
Pitch to Llewellyn. And did he break the plane? They're going to say he's short. And North, with that one timeout, going to stop the clock.
That's why you have that timeout in your back pocket. That's why they're trying to spike it on 1st down so they could call timeout here if they didn't get the ball in the end zone.
Another look at it here.
Oh, he was so close.
I think that knee might have been down as well, which is what the line judge was looking at before the ball broke the plane, or got close to breaking the plane.
And from the naked eye here, it looks like it's just inches, the tip of the football to the goal line. We might just see a quarterback sneak here, nothing flashing. If he doesn't get in, they might just try and reset and punch it in. With only 8 ticks, you really don't have much time to do a whole lot of different things down there.
Huge play. We're having a clock issue here. The clock is showing all zeros, and we've had a scoreboard malfunction here at Grand Island's field, so we have a temporary clock set up, and right now they're trying to get figured out what's going on here in the press box.
I think that's a little bit of Murphy's Law creeping in here. Something can go wrong, it does. This is a newer scoreboard for Grand Island's worked all year long. They got here about 2 hours before kickoff, flipped it on, and nothing came on. So electricians were out here tearing it apart, looking into it. They got the temporary clock set up. We still don't have our normal big board lit up here this evening.
Well, it looks like they're putting 13 on. Here we go. 2nd and goal. And Llewellyn, oh wow, he stood up. And the clock is running.
That's going to do it.
Wow. And that could play a big part in this game. The Islanders hold. And it's a 24-7 lead going into halftime.
I think it was Jordan Holdfeld, the blitzing linebacker, that really blew that up. Number 22 in the middle of your screen here.
And geez, you love your chances on 2nd and goal from the inch line. And the clock runs off. Now North still gets the ball coming out of the break, but that is huge for the Islanders. We'll take a break here. We'll be back with some halftime highlights, stats, and analysis coming up on NCN. Packed house here at Grand Island for this Class A first round matchup between the Islanders and Omaha North. Brandon Axman, Andy Klassen with you. Glad you're with us here for the U-Save Pharmacy halftime show, brought to you by your locally owned U-Save, where they support their communities and area athletes and are proud to be the lower price leader. With the hometown touch, find a location near you at usaverx.com. Well, Andy, it certainly has been the Omaha North show, particularly through that first quarter and about 3/4 of the second quarter. Good news, though, for Grand Island, if you do get to take some momentum into halftime. You had that 40-yard pass-in catch to Brock Douglas from Cole Evans, but that, I don't know if people realize how big. I mean, it's still, there's a lot to do for Grand Island, but that stand to end the half, monumental.
That would have been a devastating score there as time wound down to 0 to end the first half, and North would have really been in control of this game. They get the ball back. That's another point that you need to realize is just how pivotal that score would have been for North, and just the cushion they would be able to play the second half with. They already have a real nice cushion here, up by 3 scores, and minus one big play for Grand Island on offense. They really look out of sync here tonight.
Well, the big storyline of that first half as well, 1,500-plus yard rusher Xander Gray went out early with that elbow injury. We don't know for sure, but judging by the shots we were seeing from the sidelines, not expecting him to come back. Here's another look at what happened to Gray, and your first thought is, if you're Omaha North, that's terrible, but your second thought is, man, this could really hurt Omaha North moving forward in what they're trying to do, but there was no sign of that whatsoever. It's next man up, and you've seen Levon Llewellyn rush for 132 yards on 12 carries, and then you also have Treon Fairgood Jones, who has 66 yards and 2 scores.
Yeah, I've been very impressed with the stable of running backs for Omaha North, really picking up the torch, if you will, from Xander Gray, their number one 230-pound senior running back with over 1,500 yards on the season. You've seen no drop-off in this rushing attack from Omaha North, and we kind of knew that going in, that they had a stable of running backs. However, you can't really, you can't take your eyes off of a 1,500-yard rusher. He gets there due to a high average per carry. They lean on him. That's how their offense is predicated. I was not expecting to see this type of churn out, though, once the number one back goes out. North didn't skip a beat.
We're glad you're with us here on the U-Save Pharmacy halftime show. We'll take another break, come back with highlights. Omaha North leading 24-7. Welcome back here. 24-7 is your score at halftime. And let's take a look at the Class A landscape here for the playoffs, as we're getting some scores coming in from across the state. But this is your look. Omaha Burke, the undisputed number 1 seed at 9-0, taking on Papillion. Now we have a few scores coming in. Lincoln Southeast Southwest is an interesting one. That's a game we saw here where Southwest defeated Grand Island actually 21-7. Their defense was stingy and they had some playmakers. West Side taking on the Spartans. And Millard West Creighton Prep, we do have a score coming in for that one currently at half. Prep leading the Wildcats 7-3. And as we move to the other side of the bracket, we have Lincoln High, another team we saw, a team that Grand Island defeated 42-27. And since that defeat, the Lynx have ran the table, but they're currently trailing Elkhorn South 20-14 at half as well. But what we do know, the winner of this contest will be getting either, Pius or Millard South.
Right, and we've kind of followed all high school football, not just a couple of these schools on the screen here, but that Lincoln High matchup that you're talking about against Elkhorn South, they're down by 6 at half. We know that offense is more than capable of putting up some serious points in a very short period of time. So even though Elkhorn South is feeling good with a lead at halftime, they shouldn't feel safe about it because we know Lincoln High has got the offensive playmakers to make it happen.
And a lot of talent, of course, in Class A. Another Kearney we saw play Grand Island. They get the tough task of Bellevue West. The Thunderbirds' only loss, of course, to Omaha North, who's out on the field right now.
Right, I really like what Bellevue West does with the ball. They really share it. They've always been capable at passing the ball. They're one of the teams that really looks to the passing game before the running game. And there's not a lot of teams across the state that do that. Bellevue West is one of them. I know some of the quarterback coaches over there. They love putting the ball in there, and they love finding kids, quarterbacks that want to do just that, and they placate to that. It's a very fun style, a very fun brand, something different in the state of Nebraska a lot of times.
Millard South did defeat Pius. 34-14, so we do know that the winner of this will get Millard South next Friday. Also more scores coming in. West Side 13, Lincoln East 0 at half, and Lincoln Southwest and Lincoln Southeast currently tied at 7 apiece. Certainly, though, it's a fun time when you have this opening round playoff night. Scores flying in from everywhere on Twitter, trying to keep it all straight, as we're definitely going to see what happens.
So the winner of this game is going to take on Millard South, defeating Pius, and they were expected to win that game. And when I look at Millard South, I just see another one of those balanced Millard schools. They run the ball well, they sprinkle in the pass, they got a stingy defense, tough up front. It's going to be a tall task for either one of these teams, whoever moves on, when they match up against Millard South.
24/7 here, you Save Pharmacy halftime show. Let's take a look at some of those highlights from the first half as we're under 5 minutes left in this halftime before we get back to action. And we talked about it statistically, but it has been the ground game that it's been the Viking show this whole time. No surprise here. It's a surprise who's doing it. That was Trayon Fairgood-Jones, his first of 2 trips to the end zone. And again, Lavon Llewellyn, 132 yards on 12 carries, and he was ready to go. The sophomore making plays as there is Fairgood-Jones' second end zone trip. Again, 66 yards, 7 scores, or 2 touchdowns rather, as we have a 65-yard pass and catch. And that is Bryant Wesson, and he just barely steps out of play here. Ace McInnes making the play, but Llewellyn ends up punching it in anyway. That would make it 24-0. But Grand Island would get on the board, and this was a huge play, and really the only real positive thing for the Islanders heading into halftime. Cole Evans airing it out to his buddy and the leading receiver for the Islanders, Brock Douglas, who entered tonight with 574 yards, add 40 more there. That's his 5th touchdown reception of the year. Some trick plays here, and this was a big one. Now, luckily for Grand Island, this didn't amount to points, but you have Fogelstrom, the QB, laying a block on Francel, and on 3rd and long, Jalen Foster picks up 28 yards. It would eventually set up the final play of the half, which was a 2nd and goal from the inch line, Andy. The inch line.
Yeah, impressive.
And the Grand Island defense made the stop. No more timeouts for the Vikings. Clock ran down, but if Grand Island wants to get back into this, their defense is out on the field first, and they're going to have to make some more big plays.
It really was an impressive defensive stand there at the goal line for Grand Island. That's how important it was for Tikpahu to track down the reversal of Jalen Foster. You know, you bend, you don't break. You hear that term so much, especially with NFL defenses, how they give up a lot of yardage between the 20s, but they tighten up in the red zone. We saw that there with Grand Island, and Tikpahu, good on him for staying with the play. He was the corner at the bottom of the screen, trailed Jalen Foster the entire way north across the field and actually tackled him, allowing his defense to play another down,
Islanders coming back on the field here. We're under 3 minutes to go before we get back to action. We'll take one more break and start things here in the second half. You're watching Class A playoff football on News Channel Nebraska. And welcome back. We're ready to go here. Third quarter just about to get underway. I'd like to remind all our viewers that Fireplace Stone and Patio is a proud supporter of area athletes. Warm up after the game with Heatolator inserts, the #1 preferred brand. Beautiful warmth awaits at Fireplace Stone and Patio, inspired living inside and out.
This is case in point right here why that defensive stand at the goal line was so important for Grand Island. Omaha North getting the ball right back here. Could have got doubled whammied. In the highlight package, we showed all the running backs, Fairgood Jones, Llewellyn with some big runs, and deservedly so. But that was made possible due to the big boys up front. Wergner, Kerr, Butler, Push had a lot to do with that success for Omaha North throughout the first half.
All right, if you're Grand Island, it's here we go, because you got a lot of ground to make up, and it all starts with this drive right here, opening up this third quarter.
When we saw Coach Tomlin make some adjustments about midway through the first quarter, brought a safety down, started lining him up at the outside linebacker position, deciding to go just 3 over the top, manning up on the outside, leaving their corners out there on an island. How fitting is that?
See what you did there? Well, ball was actually bobbled on the snap, rather.
Grand Island saying
they have
it.
Oh, my goodness. And you could not have asked for a better start to the half if you are Grand Island.
Oh, what an offensive blunder here for North. They did such a good job taking care of the ball the entire first half, and it was right off the snap. No one was ready for it.
It was in Fogelstrom's hands, too. Then he gets pushed off the ball, and the Islanders recovered it. And here we go.
Oh, boy.
Ball on the 26-yard line.
This could be a huge momentum shift, if you will, to this game.
Riley tripped up. Short pickup of maybe 1. And that is the thing, too, this Viking defense. Riley carries 2 yard, 1 yard, 5 yard, 4 yard, 0, 0, 1. They have completely bottled up this rushing attack, which has been the bread and butter for the Islanders.
Really has been. We talked about the big boys getting it done for North up front offensively. They're doing a fine job with the defensive front four here tonight as well.
And Brock Douglas felt like he was interfered with there, and that was coverage by the freshman, Keyshawn Williams.
Yeah, they're trying to get Williams ISO'd up there, and Williams was trailing the play. May have run into Douglas just a little early here.
Saw him get his paw in front, but you see Douglas saying that arm's on him.
Right.
3rd and 9. And no one coming off the edge. There's Douglas in space. First down. Then some. Douglas across the 10 and brought down near the 5.
Not only did Douglas do a real good job of looking the ball in and catching it before he ran, he also read his block perfectly on the sideline that enabled him to pick up that first down.
Pickup of 17. So Douglas now 2 receptions, 57 yards.
And now you're seeing Tomlin just getting the ball into his playmaker's hands.
Riley, again with the cutback. Nothing doing this front for the Vikings. So tough.
Yeah, Tristan Gray, big number 78 in the middle there, has a lot to do with that. Plugging up the middle, clogging up the middle. Usually see Grand Island sneak one in on you up the middle. That's not happening here tonight.
And there, Riley. Did he get off the block? Touchdown! John Riley. He squeaked out to the flat, went up the sideline, and the rest is history.
And there
I thought he didn't have a chance to make that play.
And there you're seeing the confidence that the quarterback, Cole Evans, has in Riley. He put that ball where it needed to be well before the break. You're exactly right. And then Riley, look at the young man keeping his feet in bounds. Huge play, huge turn of events here to start off the second half for Grand Island.
8-yard pass and catch. Islanders capitalize on the fumble. We have ourselves a 10-point ball game.
Oh, what excellent concentration there for Riley, working the sideline there in the end zone, keeping his feet in bounds and securing the catch as well.
Well, if you're Tomlin and company, you're saying, all right, here we go. We had a fumble, we scored, and it's you cut into that lead just like that. It's a 10-point ball game.
Right, it felt like almost an insurmountable mountain to climb, if you will. You get the turnover, you get the quick score. Now you look at it, 24-14. That's a different looking scoreboard for you. And you got to feel your offense has a little bit of confidence. Your defense caused a turnover to start things off here. Everything going the way of Grand Island here to start things off in the third quarter.
Now to kick this one away. This will be returnable. Taking it about the 6, Fairgood Jones. He has space on the outside. Speed and Fairgood Jones pushed out near midfield. We also, though, have a flag that flew in.
Yeah, Fairgood Jones has real good vision when he has the football in his hands. Sees everything developing in front of him and figures out a way to run around it. We did see a late flag there. We're going to have to wait and see what that's all about. See the officials huddling up, talking it over. They want to get this call right. And Grand Island motioning that it's against North. Personal foul, I believe they're saying an illegal block. Oh, that's...
So keep your eyes on Malachi O'Neal. And that was a shoulder to the head of, I believe, looked like John Riley.
That was the targeting call there when you see the two fists come together. That's a personal foul. Negates a really nice return there for North.
And there's a tackle for a loss. Llewellyn, that is the first we've seen all game where he's lost yardage, and big Blake Rodebush.
Rodebush doing some road grading there on the edge, getting into the backfield, a little bit of penetration, and you're exactly right, Brandon. That's something we hadn't seen a lot of in the first half for Grand Island. Wow, what can momentum do for you?
Loss of 5 here, 2nd and 15. Pitch to Llewellyn. And there is that Islander defense flowing, and Rodebush in there on it again. Also Mateo Martinez in the backfield.
Okay, now notice what happened on that play. In the first half, I felt the first defender for Grand Island would get there, and he would leave his feet. North would get by. Whoever it was, Llewellyn or Fairgood Jones, they'd make the first guy miss. That first guy right now is wrapping up and allowing the pursuit to get there and help with the team tackle.
Fogelstrom, there's that jump ball, and it's hauled in. What a catch for Wesson. They're going to say he did catch it, and what a play.
It looked like a catch to me. Wesson did a great job of getting his hands out and underneath the ball. Look at this little bit of a push off out of the end there, but the defender was up in his grill as well. Like the no call for pass interference. Offensively or defensively, both sides kind of have an argument on that one.
30-yard pickup. Farragut Jones, Sims grabs him from behind. If it's important if you're the Islanders to bounce back after that big play. Again, North coming up big when they needed to, and that's what good teams do.
Yeah, and North wasted no time after that big gain, lining up and going right back to their bread and butter, off-tackle power football.
So 2nd and 7 here. Farragut Jones with the spin move. He does it again. There's the hit. And he got about 4 more.
Like a video game, hitting the B button twice there with the spin move.
Yeah, it worked for him there. It brings up 3rd and short.
A lot of traffic here. And yeah, that first spin move and the second one got him another 3 or 4 yards, bringing up the 3rd and short.
Llewellyn, the deep back in the I formation, looking to get to the outside, and he's hit. Jack Wemhoff fighting off the block, and that is a huge play on 3rd down.
You got to love it if you're a Grand Island fan. Your defense is really answering the call here up front. Wemhoff busting through the gap, blowing that play up. It looked like North had a chance to pick up that 1st down.
Oh, wow. I think they're going for it.
I think you're right. I think the offensive unit's staying out on the field.
Wow, Larry Martin saying, let's go. We need to get this crowd out of it.
Yeah, on their own side of the 50.
4th and 3. There's the swing pass to Wesson, and Ace McInnes making the open field tackle. The Vikings turn it over on downs.
That was a big boy play there for Ace McInnes. He's given up a couple plays deep. These are tough plays. They're out on the field. That was just straight up saying, Wesson, can you beat one man? Ace McInnes had different ideas.
What a play. Islanders now get the ball right at the 50.
And I don't mind the play call there for North. I believe a lot of Omaha North fans are saying, why didn't you run the ball there? Why didn't you run the ball? Where you're manned up on the outside, you like to just give your playmakers an opportunity. And that's what Coach Martin was doing on that occasion.
Riley, it'll be interesting to see where they mark it here, because the one-line judge says a gain of 2. It looked like he was on the body of a defender, though, and extended it for about 3 more, but they're going to say about a 2-yard pickup.
And that was another big defensive stand on 4th down for Grand Island.
Play action here. Evans on the wheel route, hauled in for the catch. And that's Sextro pulling it in near the 35.
Sextro's really good at running that wheel route from the running back position. He's real comfortable running those routes, runs good routes when they line him up in the slot receiver. Just kind of a natural all-around offensive weapon.
14-yard pickup. Back to the air. Evans, all the time in the world. One-on-one coverage. Cahoy holds it in for the score. The backup quarterback back in the receiver spot, and the Islanders are back in business.
That play was there in the first half. Evans just threw it a half step behind Cahoy. That time hit him right in stride, and look at all the time that the offensive line awarded or gave to Evans for the deep hookup for the big-time score for Grand Island.
And it looks like an entirely different team that has come out of here for the second half. For the Islanders, chip shot, PAT from Wentling drops in. That literally went about 40 yards in the air and about 2 yards past the goalpost.
Got the old 60-degree lob wedge out there for the PAT. Good nevertheless, and we got a one-score, 3-point game here.
Don't go anywhere. Things are heating up here in Grand Island. 3-point ball game. Welcome back here, 3-point ball game. As Grand Island has scored 14 unanswered here to start the half, we'd like to remind you that UNK is our streaming sponsor here tonight. They are the most affordable university in the state. Quality academics matched with low tuition makes the University of Nebraska at Kearney a wise choice. Apply today and start making a difference. Visit unk.edu as we have a big return here by the Vikings. All the way across midfield and still going, Avion Barnes. And that is exactly what the Vikings needed, something to slow the roll of the Islander momentum.
Barnes, real nice return here, just cutting from the bottom of your screen up to the left, up to his sideline, picking up some big-time yards on the return. Real nice wall of blockers there for the middle return. And then Barnes, with that speed, able to pick up another 15 yards after he ran out of blockers.
So a short field here for the Vikings. Fairgood Jones bust up the middle. There he goes. Franzel brings him down from behind, but not before a 20-yard pickup.
And that's a welcoming sign if you're a North fan. In that first half, it just seemed like they were running at will with whoever. Things really got shut down here early in the third quarter. Nice pickup on first down to pick up another first down for Fairgood Jones.
And tripped up for a short gain. Mateo Martinez making the play on Fairgood Jones there.
And this is a really good game of cat and mouse between these two coaching staffs. Grand Island has elected to throw everybody down in the box. That time he had 10 guys within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage, no wide receivers, just daring Omaha North to put the ball in the air. And North, they want to lean on their running game. They don't want to get away from it.
2nd and 12. Fairgood Jones bottled up initially, bounces it out, sheds some defenders. And that is a great effort by the running back there to get positive yards.
That looked like a loss of yardage. That looked like a no gain of yardage, breaking 2 tackles, actually turning it into a little bit of a gain. Going to bring up a 2nd and 8, or 3rd and 8.
Another big 3rd down here. Islander fans on their feet.
Split wideouts. Wesson's at the bottom of your screen. That's who North has been looking to go to.
There it is again. Jump ball up and out of the hands of Wesson. He had it, and McInnes didn't give up on the play. Wow.
This is one heck of a play. Wesson looked like he had a shot here.
It's in his hands, and then I think McInnes got his right arm around and just poked it loose.
Right at the last second, McInnes was able to knock that ball out. But I think North, they're keeping their offense out on the field again here. We're going to have another 4th down.
My goodness. No shortage of drama here in Grand Island. 4th and about 8. Here we go. Play action. Franzel coming from behind. Vogelstrom's trying to do it with his feet, and he can't. That is what you call a coverage sack, Andy, and another turnover on downs.
Franzel's speed came into play there. And it was just a too slow developing of a play. With the play action, then you had the drag route. You had 2 receivers from the top. And look at Franzel barking out orders. Getting around his
do this, I'm going to chase the quarterback.
Then Wemhoff did a real nice job of staying home, not allowing Fulgumstrom to get outside.
Wow, wow, wow. This is what playoff football is all about, Andy.
Yeah, these two teams are really throwing haymakers back and forth here throughout the third quarter.
Bubble screen to Douglas, has a couple blockers across the 30. Looks like it'll be a gain of about 6.
Yeah, that was a play throughout the first quarter into the second quarter where there was nothing doing for Grand Island. Now they're starting to pick up 6, 7 yards a pop.
And off to Riley. There's space for him to go. And that's Riley's biggest run of the ball game.
Riley does a real nice job coming off his blockers downfield and then getting north and south, picking up yardage, getting that first down. Nothing flashy once again. Just reading his blocks and getting upfield.
Pickup of 8. Riley again getting around the edge, and we have a flag. That'll be a hold against the Islanders.
Yeah, that play really got started in the backfield, and you're going to see the hold right in the middle of your screen here. On Vincent. Vincent was going for another tackle for loss. I believe he has 6 or 7 now on the season. Probably would have got another one if it weren't for the hold.
So, big penalty for the Islanders, marching them back. All the way back to the 25-yard line. Islanders need to get to the 49 of Omaha North, so first and about 26. Tikpahu going across, handoff to Riley. He has some space. It's a decent gain back as he gets across the 30.
Yeah, picked up about half the penalty yardage. Grand Island still has a lot of work to do here. That was a devastating penalty, a spot foul. That's why it went all the way back. Ended up being a 16-yard penalty on first down.
So second and 20 here. Evans just a little bit out in front, trying to find Riley. Even if he caught it, you don't think there was too much there.
No, Avian Barnes did a real nice job staying with his man. He was playing with good leverage. I don't think that play would have went very far either.
So third and 20. Do you even heave something up, or is this where you see maybe a running back draw?
I heave it up. With Cole
like
Evans, the receivers that he has, get the ball out.
Well, Evans evades the rush. There he goes and drops in between 2 receivers, Riley and Sextro. So the Islanders have to punt here. The Omaha North defense holds.
Real nice defensive stand there for Omaha North, stopping the momentum, stopping the bleeding, if you will. 14 unanswered points. Everything was clicking for GI. That was a big-time stop for this Viking defense.
Low snap. Booted away. Fair catch made at about the 37 by Fairgood Jones.
You know, Fairgood Jones made a real nice fair catch in the second quarter. After having a real nice return, I was impressed with his discipline to survey the field, see nothing was there. Go ahead, put your hand up in the air, call for the fair catch, get your offense on the field. That's what you want to see out of your return man.
All right, Jeff Tomlin giving the orders here. North will start on their 38. Llewellyn. And the backside pursuit brings him down. You had Sims in there, you had Roadbush, and Wemhoff as well.
I think Roadbush got just enough of the ball carrier there. And then you had the outside contain staying on top, playing with leverage, not allowing North to get to the edge. And a very rare loss of yardage on first down.
And you're looking at Llewellyn after his 6th carry, 1 yard, 2 yard, 1 yard, 1 yard, 7, 5, minus 5, 0, negative 2. And as I say that, here he goes. Across the 50, Llewellyn near the 40, and he busts a big one. And that was a much-needed big gain for the Vikings.
I really admire the discipline from this North coaching staff. You were talking about it, I was thinking it too. Man, they're really shutting down the running game. They go right back to Llewellyn. Off tackle, he busts another big run right up the gut.
25-yard pickup. And he is nearing 200 yards.
Yeah, that was 25 yards. It wasn't off a misdirection, ISO, outside. That was right up the middle.
Back to him. stood up there initially. He's battling, and then his gang tackled for a short gain.
I believe it was Jack Wemhoff, the first man there, wrapped him up. Didn't just dive at his legs, didn't just try an arm tackle, wrapped him up and allowed the pursuit, the rest of the defense, to come in and help bring him down. These are some powerful, elusive running backs for North. You have to wrap up if you're going to have a chance, if you're going to give yourself a chance to pull this victory off.
2nd and 10. Farragut Jones back in. Back to the air, and it was a corner, or rather a curl route. I think, was that Roadbush getting his big paw up there?
I think it was, and that's exactly what you want to see out of your defensive linemen. If you're not going to get there, get your hands up and bat that ball down.
One of the rare passes that hasn't just been a fly route that we've seen from the Vikings. Brings up 3rd and long.
How about Roadbush with the awareness to get his big paws up in the air?
Once again, the Islander fans on their feet for this big 3rd and 10. Here's the one-on-one coverage. You imagine you're going to see the fly. Instead, it's a draw. Farragut Jones gets around the corner, cuts it up, and a big pickup on 3rd and long. He gets 11.
Farragut Jones with that speed. Did a real nice job of making the first man miss. Then once he got outside, once he got to the edge, was able to pick up the yardage needed to get that first down.
And now Farragut Jones being stretched out.
Oh, no.
But before that, you saw Llewellyn come off as well, and I'm not sure if that was just a normal rotation or if Llewellyn is dealing with something, but the injury bug, and this could just be a cramp, but the running backs here for North banged up.
Or they're working on his ankle. I'm not sure what's going on. I believe North is going to take a timeout and talk things over here.
We'll take one as well. Under a minute to play in the 3rd. Still a 3-point ball game here in Grand Island. Welcome back. It was a quick break, so Llewellyn actually grabbed a 2-yard gain. It's now 2nd and about 8. And now the clock winds down. We have one more quarter to get things settled here for a trip to the 2nd round of the playoffs, Sandy.
Yeah, everything's on the line. This is exactly what both coaching staffs talked about, how it's going to be a tight game going into the 4th quarter. We have exactly that. There you have a good look at Coach Tomlin leading the way, if you will. Staying engaged with his players. He knows how big a stop would be here to start things off in the 4th quarter.
Well, clearly momentum has shifted to the Islanders, but what, in your opinion, Andy, has led to that? I mean, you started off right away with the fumble and the score, but momentum's just a crazy thing. Defensively,
really
the Islanders are making plays they weren't making in the first half, and offensively, Omaha North slowing down a little bit.
Well, you just saw once a spark starts something for you, whether it's on offense or defense, it translates to the other side of the ball. Grand Island got the big takeaway on the first play of the 3rd quarter. Then 3 plays later, Grand Island punches it in for a score, and we had an entire different ball game. Had a different feel to it. The crowd kind of came to life, if you will, here, the home crowd for Grand Island. And it was followed up by another defensive stop. And stops were hard to come by for Grand Island in the first half, and they got back-to-back stops, back-to-back scores to really turn this into a good ball game, and it kind of looked like North was going to run away with it.
Gain of maybe 1 for Llewellyn. 3rd and long upcoming. Officially 8 for the Vikings. And again, they've gone for it twice on 4th down. Do they go for it again? Is this 2-down territory?
I think they will go for it again from what I've seen. If they don't pick up the 3rd down here.
One back set. Play action. Pre-snap flag. And looks like this is against Omaha North.
A little bit of a backbreaker, if you will. If you're an Omaha North fan.
This game helped made possible by Central Nebraska Orthopedics. From advanced surgical techniques to sports medicine expertise, Central Nebraska Orthopedics, dedicated to the motion of life. And for those just joining us, it was 24-zip Omaha North midway through the second quarter. Grand Island did score with about 2 minutes left before half, had a goal line stand in the final seconds to keep Omaha North from scoring again before halftime and then getting the ball. And since the halftime break, the Islanders have scored 14 unanswered to make this a 3-point ball game as Fogelstrom to the air drops it in perfectly on a dime to Jalen Foster. It's still going to be short, Andy, but we imagine we're going to see a fourth down here.
They're going for it. Jalen Foster ran a spectacular route up the sideline, getting open. He didn't pick up the first down, but he got him down there where you believe they could pick up this fourth down. That was a huge completion for Fogelstrom.
Pickup of 10. 4th and 3, and the Vikings going to take a timeout here. Again, Fogelstrom, and again, Larry Martin said we need to see more consistency from our quarterback. And I think we've seen every bit of consistency, accuracy, and poise from Fogelstrom here tonight.
We really have. He really dropped that ball. That was not an easy pass to complete. Francel kind of shot the route down, and it made the quarterback throw the ball over the defender there. Fogelstrom dropping a nice dime, if you will, to his man Foster up the sideline.
Well, what play are you calling? If you're Larry Martin, what do you do?
I really don't know, because Grand Island's daring you to pass the ball, really loading up the box. However, we've seen them pick up on this drive a 3rd and long with just this easy straight up the middle out of the I formation. So I really have no idea what North is going to elect to do here.
4th and 3. It's a pitch to Llewell, and he cuts it up. He stood up. The line judge is marking him a line or a yard short. And the Islanders sidelines has exploded. The 4th down does not work, and it's the 3rd turnover on downs for the Vikings this half.
When Levon Llewellyn decided to cut that ball up, I thought he had more than enough room to pick that up. He has the speed, he has the power. Credit the Grand Island defense for rallying up and stopping it at the point of contact, leaving him a yard short. That was a huge turnover on downs.
Grand Island a chance to tie or take the lead here on this drive. Starting on the 19, and it's Riley. Hard yards up the middle, pickup of 4.
Really like Riley's aggressiveness when he's running the ball. He's not afraid to run between the tackles. He's not the biggest running back out on the field, but he's more than capable of picking up those tough yards in a lot of traffic.
Twins to the near side. Evans staying in the pocket. Lets it fly. Ball batted down by that Viking defense.
I believe that was Butler. Big number 70 in the middle of your screen there. Great penetration. And then real good awareness, batting the ball down.
That is a big body player. 6'3", 328. 3rd and 6. Riley leaking out to the flat, pump fake, going for Douglas. Has his player beat. Did he hold that in?
Yep.
It's a catch for Brock Douglas. The junior continues to make plays.
They're really trying to pick on Williams, the freshman DB, out there on his own, but he actually had really nice coverage here, and you saw Cole Evans hesitate with the pump fake. The underneath route was there, but I could just tell he wanted to get the ball downfield. He wanted to get vertical. Looked up his man, Brock Douglas, for another big gain.
Douglas is nearing the century mark as there goes Riley around the corner. He maybe gets 1.
That's the type of confidence that Cole Evans has in these receivers. We've seen him throw it up to Brock Douglas, Cahoy, Sextro on the wheel route. He is not afraid to deliver the ball to any of these guys.
Douglas 4 receptions, 86 yards to lead the Islanders. And there's another short carry by Riley. Going to bring up 3rd and about 7.
Really important 3rd down here for Grand Island. You kind of get the feeling like if they pick up some yardage here, they would elect to go for it on 4th down.
Evans stepping up, lets it fly, and Douglas can't haul it in. And they probably would have been a little bit short regardless. So Islanders are going to punt this one away.
Really got to credit Keyshawn Williams for rallying up and jarring that ball loose. He had on pretty nice tight coverage regardless. Then he came up and delivered a big blow separating Douglas from the ball. Look at it right here.
High spiraling bunt. And fair catch made at about the 12, so a long field facing the Vikings here.
And this is where North would really like to go back to the running game. Lean on their powerful rushing attack. Bleed some time off the clock here. Have a 5-minute plus, 5-6 minute drive. Cap it off with a score. Go up by 2 scores and leave very little time for Grand Island to operate it with. However, Grand Island's defense has come to life here in the second half.
Ball on the 12 to start things. Fairgood Jones cuts it up. And hard hit there by Sam Sims. Looks like they'll give him 3.
Yeah, big middle linebacker Sims has had his hands full tonight. A lot of times taking on the slant receiver or a pulling guard, fullback. He's had a lot to deal with trying to manage the middle of the field here against North.
Another pitch to the short side of the field. Hard hit, but Fairgood Jones keeps his legs trucking. This will be close to a first down.
And that's what the Vikings offensively want to do. They just want to give the ball off to the running backs and let them go to work. It is going to be a little short. Going to bring up a 3rd and 1 here, 3rd and a half yard or so.
24-21 your score on the Aurora Cooperative scoreboard. Go green with E15 and fill up at your nearest A-stop today. 3rd and short. Pitch again, Fairgood Jones. Spins, and he'll get the first down. That is his 21st carry.
Really like what I've seen out of Fairgood Jones here tonight. You could tell he glanced outside. He wanted to bounce it outside, and with the speed, he may have been able to do so and get up and scamper down that sideline, but he knew he needed to pick up the first down, put his head down, got upfield, got the yardage needed to pick up a critical first down on 3rd and short.
Why not? Another pitch to Fairgood Jones. And he picks up about 2.
He just glides on his feet and keeps his feet. He's running through so much traffic, you expect him to go down, and he just stays upright. That probably should have been another run for loss. Instead, he turns it into a 2 or 3 yard gain.
Second and 7 I formation. Once again, you have D'Anthony Cribbs in that fullback spot. Pass, pump fake, and miscommunication. Nobody there. Wentling, the closest player. And so that'll bring up 3rd and long.
Yeah, Jalen Foster broke that one outside. Fulgumstrom throwing him the wheel route, the deep route. Said a little miscommunication between receiver and quarterback.
And we actually have Avion Barnes, the deep back. And they give it to Barnes, his first carry, and he is stuffed. 1, maybe 2.
Yeah, not only did we have Barnes in the backfield, we also had 3 wide, 2 to the bottom of your screen. Kind of an unorthodox look from this Omaha North offense, not enough to catch Grand Island off guard. And I believe they're going to have to punt this ball away.
Barnes coming into this game with just 61 yards and 3 touchdowns, so he's sort of that apparent short yardage guy, but nothing there. And this is rare, a Viking punt. Douglas takes it at the 40. He has the wall in front of him. Douglas in the open field, bounces it outside. Brock Douglas, the 30, near the 20, spinning away from defenders, and the Islanders are in the red zone after the huge return from Brock Douglas.
Douglas did such a nice job of allowing his blocks to develop in front of him and then coming right off of him. And look at this third gear. Once he gets outside right here, look at him churn on the jets. And credit Barnes, Avion Barnes, with maybe a touchdown saving tackle, staying with the play. The 5'10", 180-pound junior making a critical tackle on special teams.
45-yard return for Douglas, and that sets up the Islanders inside the 20. Riley lowers the shoulder as he was wrapped up by DeAnthony Cribbs. No gain on the play.
And O'Neal really made that play, playing with leverage, not allowing Riley to get to the edge. Big number 1, your defensive end on that play.
Second and 10. Back to Riley. And nothing doing yet again, that run defense.
Yep.
That was Krawczyk, the Vikings' leading tackler. He has to be close to 100 on the season after that one.
Yeah, and that was even a misdirection there. Starting left, then going right. Riley, the shifty, speedy running back for Grand Island, unable to fake out North on that occasion.
3rd and 7. Evans looking to Sykes, and he threw it to the opposite side of the shoulder that Sykes was thinking. And I think we're going to see a field goal attempt here as Kian Wentling is coming out on the field.
We know the young man has the leg. We've seen him boot a couple deep ones earlier this season.
$33-yard attempt here.
And you got Evans as the holder.
Wentling has the leg. He splits the uprights. We are tied. 33-yard field goal by Wentling. 24-all here in the 4th.
And it really has been a tale of two halves. Omaha leading at the break 24-0. Grand Island roaring back 24 unanswered for the Islanders.
5:11 to play. Things are getting crazy here at Memorial Stadium. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back here to Grand Island. What a game. 17 unanswered points scored by the Islanders after halftime as we have the squib kick here. Fairgood Jones, decent return across the 30.
Yeah, and it all started with that first play in the 3rd quarter. A botched snap for North. Credit GI for pouncing on it, but the momentum has squarely been on the sideline of the purple here in the 2nd half. Now here's where North is really going to want to just hunker down, not get too flashy, and just lean on their stable of running backs. I thought they tried to do a little too much. There was some misdirection stuff on that previous drive. They really just need to get the ball back to their big running backs.
And that pass may have been batted at the line. It was short for Wesson, but again, if you're just joining us, Xander Gray, the 1,500-yard rusher for North, knocked out very early into the 1st quarter with an apparent elbow injury. Has not returned since, although the rushing game was still on fire in the 1st half. But the Islanders, they have come up with a little bit of an answer since halftime. Been able to at least contain it, the Omaha Vikings.
It almost appeared that when Gray went down, It was like the boys were all playing harder, kind of rallying around their fallen comrade.
Back to the air again, and it pops out. McInnes. And yet Douglas helping over the top. Wesson couldn't hang on.
McInnes has done a real nice job out on an island, getting manned up, and then Brock Douglas, your lone safety, doing a real nice job playing center field. More times than not, Douglas has been able to make himself a factor in those slow developing down the field plays.
And those two have been battling all game. It's been very fun to watch. 3rd and 10 now.
And you're seeing what McInnes is doing. He's just watching the eyes and the hands of these receivers. Wesson may have had a half step on him. That was real good discipline for McInnes not to get into him and just watch his eyes and make the breakup once the ball was delivered.
And Wesson's been the big playmaker. Catch for 65 yards, another for 30 yards. He has 3 receptions in total for 97 yards.
And he's done a real nice job of working himself downfield, and he'll actually create a little bit of contact, then he'll come off, create a little space for him. I'm not saying he's pushing off or doing anything illegal. Just a very smart, cerebral wide receiver for Omaha North.
Big 3rd and 10, here we go. And a tackle in the backfield, nowhere to go for Fairgood Jones. And you'd have to assume the Vikings are punting it here. What a play defensively.
Well, credit the Grand Island coaching staff for selling out on the run, dialing it up exactly when they needed to. Oh no, and we got another Viking down on the field.
And is that Fairgood Jones?
Looks like he's holding his right shoulder.
4:38 remaining, 4th down upcoming. We'll take a break. We're tied 24-24.
I think what makes USAVE unique is that we're small enough and we're locally owned. We know most of our customers. They're our neighbors and friends, so it's really rewarding to get to work with them and make them feel better.
I love helping people toward better health.
We take pride in serving our community.
I hope that USAVE customers feel like they have a personalized experience here, and I want them to feel like they're friends and family.
Trust your local USAVE pharmacy, part of the Health Mart family of pharmacies.
Welcome back. So Fairgood Jones helped off the field by the training staff here, and it looked like it was a shoulder injury from what he was holding. That's good to see. Yeah. He's able to make it off the field under his own power. The Vikings, though, they're going to have to punt here. And Douglas making the fair catch there near the 45.
And I credited Foster on a couple occasions for coming up and making a real nice fair catch. Brock Douglas making a real nice adjustment in his return game, calling for the fair catch, seeing that nothing was available up front. And that's after coming off a huge return that really set up that field goal, that pass field goal for Grand Island.
To the Islanders now. In control of their own destiny with the ball on the 41 here. 4:23 to go, and you never would have thought this would have been the case the way this game started out. Quick hitter to Douglas on the curl, and he's tackled near the 50, gain of about 8.
That was midway through the second quarter. Omaha North goes up 24-0. They just have another devastating drive to close out the half, nearly punch another one in as time expires. Omaha North was in total control of this game until that turnover that kick-started things. First play of the third quarter here.
And Islanders just taking what the Vikings will give them. Same play to Douglas. 5 more yards and a first down.
Exactly right. And there's plenty of time here for Grand Island to run their normal offense. Time isn't a factor where they have to go to the passing game or or worry about conserving time, they also have all 3 timeouts.
First and 10. Ball on the 48 of Omaha North.
And here's where I wouldn't be surprised if Omaha North starts getting a little creative on defense. They've been staying in that Tampa 2, keeping 2 guys up top. Would not be surprised if they get a little bit more creative and try and bring an extra guy to really shut this passing game from Grand Island down.
Another hard run for Riley. That's his 17th carry. Longest run has been 8 yards, which is very uncharacteristic, but he's just that guy that will do what's needed to be done.
Yep, I was talking about him earlier, how he doesn't mind running between the tackles. I also think that's kind of showcasing the team speed defensively of these Vikings.
And here's the first run for Caleb Francel, and he always seems to have big carries when he gets the ball.
Yeah.
His first of the game, and it goes for nearly 20 yards.
Yeah, Francel's not the leading rusher, second leading rusher, but he does have the most yards per carry, picking up nearly 9 yards per carry on the season. Just a different pace back, gives you a different look, and he's always looking to break a big one off.
24 yards for Francel. And why not go back to him? Francel hit hard. Wrapped up by Vinson, and another. He gets about 3 there.
Credit North for being ready on that quick snap, going right back to the hot hand Francel.
Francel has 311 yards, 8 touchdowns actually. He's averaging almost 8 yards a carry when they give him the ball, but this is just like Jeff Tomlin. Give Riley 17 carries all game, and then all of a sudden, Francel, you're in for 3 straight carries. He bounces it to the outside. Brought down near the 10.
And look at that move. Able to sidestep a linebacker there once he got to that second level. Just a very tough runner to bring down. Yeah, see, that's a tall order for Avion Barnes or anybody out there. When you're in a lot of space with a real speedy, shifty type of ball carrier like Francel.
There's a pickup of 6, 3rd and 1 here. Sykes and Francel in, and Francel gets the first down. And Grand Island is going to milk this thing down. Omaha North with just the 1 timeout.
You'd still think that Grand Island wants to punch this ball in for a touchdown. They don't want to settle for a field goal attempt. So I assume you're right, Brandon. They're going to bleed the time. They got all the timeouts in their back pocket. North still has 1 of their timeouts. But I believe Grand Island wants to secure this victory with the field goal, not the field goal, with a touchdown.
Francel, the lone back. 4th consecutive carry for Francel, and he continues to rumble forward. It's about 4 more.
I believe I used the term, he's a different pace back. That's a play that Riley and the other running backs were trying to bust outside, and once they got outside the tackle, then go up the field. Francel cutting it right back immediately, getting some big yards there. Not big yards, but 4 or 5 yards on first down.
And the Vikings will use their final timeout here to give that defense a little bit of a rest, a little over a minute to go.
And I never would have thought that Grand Island would have Omaha North on the ropes in the second half of this game. The way this game started and how Omaha North had such control of the game the entire first half. I just never saw Grand Island getting back into this one, but here we are.
And it goes all the way back to that play before halftime, Andy. That 2nd and goal from the inch line.
Yeah.
I believe it was Jordan Hofelt, who made the tackle.
Yep.
And you'll keep the Vikings out. The clock runs out, and here we are.
Yeah, and you're talking about what a critical play that was. I just thought you were trying to build drama, but you were spot on, buddy.
And here we are. A minute 13 on the clock, 2nd and 6. Riley is back, and Riley has space, cuts it in, and Riley is in the end zone.
What a play call for Coach Tomlin, the offensive coaching staff for Grand Island. They got Omaha North to move just far enough onto the right side of your screen. You saw a few bodies leaning to the right. Riley breaks it to the left of your screen, gets in the end zone.
Grand Island with its first lead of the ball game. The PAT is good, and here we go.
We still got 1:07 to work with if you're Omaha North. We've seen some good things from their passing game. You gotta believe that Grand Island's probably gonna get back to their over-the-top look with a 2-safety look. They're not gonna wanna bring too much pressure up the middle. However, Omaha North has done such a good job with their big plays running the football. If they can get to the outside and use the sideline as their friend, I wouldn't be surprised to see Omaha North run the ball, even though there's only a minute 7 left in this game here, and they don't have any timeouts.
The defending champs are on the ropes right now. Here in Grand Island, first round of the playoffs, 1:07 to go, and all the fans here at this packed Memorial Stadium are on their feet.
Now we've also seen a couple real nice returns for Mr. Fairgood Jones. He's back out on the field. Looks like his shoulder's okay.
And this one fielded near the 10, returned by Avion Barnes. Decent return.
Barnes did a real nice job. That was a line drive kick there. Rather than allowing it to go into the end zone, trying to make a play. I like the move. And here we go. Just over a minute left in the game. You got to feel that North is going to try to air this ball out. And yep, you got a Tampa 2 look. You got 2 safeties. About 15 yards deep here for Grand Island.
Vogelstrom to the air. It's picked off. Kojo Atikpahu. He's going to the edge. The 25, the 20, 10. Kojo Atikpahu. They give him the touchdown. And that will just about do it. The icing on the cake. Are you kidding me?
Oh, Atikpahu read this one like a book. Went right to his zone. Got underneath the route, broke on the ball perfectly. Look at how he caught it with his hands right here. Didn't allow the ball to get into his face mask, into his pads. And you saw his teammates saying, go down, go down. And Atikpahu was like, nah, I'll just take it down to the end zone. Don't worry about it, boys.
His second interception of the season, and what a time to get it. Pick 6.
Oh.
The Islanders now are up 14.
When that was in the middle of the field, you just saw a taste of the speed that Atikpahu brings to the game. Able to run across the entire field and then have the afterburners to actually get to the end zone.
When these two teams meet, it is my good. We had last year's game where it was the Islanders who had a huge lead.
Right.
Coming out of half, and it was North who came back to crush the hopes and dreams of the Vikings before going on to win, or the Islanders before winning the Class A title, and the script has been flipped here.
And was that an overtime game last year?
Oh my God.
I think it might have been in an overtime.
It could have been.
No shortage of drama when these two teams have met up last couple of seasons, that's for sure. And there's that interception bugaboo that we're talking about, Fulgumstrom. 7 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, make it 8 here now. But that wasn't all on him. That was max coverage. You had a lot of defensive backs checked into the game. And also he was just trying to make a play for his team.
And nice return across the 40. And my goodness, Andy, this game has had everything.
Yeah, it really has. And we got another North Viking down on the field here. I believe that's O'Neal getting up slow.
This has been a physical game.
Yeah, it really has. Yeah, there's been some hard hitting on both sides. I felt like North really punched, if you will, the Islanders in the mouth to start this game off with, and they're kind of shell-shocked as North was able to score 3-4 times right in a row there. Grand Island had no answer, but they hung in there just enough in that first half to give themselves an opportunity to get back in this game, and then a timely turnover to get things started in the third quarter, and it's been all Grand Island ever since.
To the air, overshot. And so a rare situation where the Vikings won't be playing in the championship game like they have 5 of the last 6 years. They're going to be eliminated in the first round. That's the first time this has happened since 2010.
Yeah, and I don't know if anybody from the Omaha metro area feels too bad for Omaha North right now, except for Omaha North alumni and fans and students, of course.
And
been such a successful program over the years. Coach Martin has done such a fabulous job with these guys to where it's a disappointment when not only do they make the playoffs, but they don't win a few times in the playoffs.
Well, he went on to say that the expectations have almost become unrealistic because of the standard this Viking team has set, and they have nothing to be ashamed about, but that is going to do it. Grand Island knocks off the defending champs 38-24, scoring 31 unanswered in the second half. They will get Millard South in the second round of the playoffs next Friday.
What a game. Both coaching staffs talked about how it was going to come down to the wire in the fourth quarter. It didn't look like it was going to play itself out that way. Grand Island came roaring back, really showed you a lot of heart in the second half. Omaha North just not quite enough to hold on to that victory. Credit Grand Island for coming back and getting it done here at home.
Don't go anywhere. We have plenty to discuss in this post-game show. We'll hear from Coach Tomlin, our player of the game, and wrap things up here from Grand Island. GI wins 38-24. And welcome back here to Grand Island, where there's a bunch of happy fans here at Memorial Stadium. Grand Island knocks off the defending champs 38-24. As we're going to take a look at our top plays of the game. Top plays brought to you by Central Nebraska Orthopedics. From advanced surgical techniques to sports medicine expertise, Central Nebraska Orthopedics. Defending Class A state champs Omaha North coming to town to take on Grand Island. And it was a dramatic game the last time these played last year. It was just as dramatic this time and more. Xander Gray, though, the big storyline, 1,500-yard rusher for the Vikings, goes out early in the first quarter with an arm injury, but it didn't slow down the Viking rushing attack in the first half specifically. This was Levon Llewellyn, had 132 yards rushing in the first half alone. The sophomore was unstoppable. Also, the tandem of Trayon Fairgood-Jones takes it into the end zone there. That gets the scoring started. It's 7-0, Omaha North in the first. Now, Fogelstrom going up in the air, connecting with Bryant Wesson for a huge catch. He'd take this 65 yards. Ace McGinnis chases him down and makes him step out of bounds. It would eventually set up the touchdown. And there it is, Mr. Llewellyn taking it in for the score. That would make it 24-0 actually, as the Omaha North Vikings were rolling in the first half. But Grand Island, who couldn't get really anything going all half long, does have a little bit of momentum here. Cole Evans hits Brock Douglas, who eclipsed the 100-yard mark. There was 40 reception yards there for the score. It's 24-7 going into halftime. North with the ball still in control. They fumble the first snap of the second half. Grand Island gets the ball, and then it would end up setting another score. Brock Douglas weaving in, weaving out from Cole Evans. And here we go. Evans back to the air, finding John Riley, keeping his feet in bounds, and that would make it 24-14. So the Islanders were down 24-0 at one point. This makes it 24-14. Now Evans in the air yet again. Douglas continuing to make plays. He had 6 receptions in total. And now it's Riley taking it into the end zone. And that would now make it the 24-point ball game, and it would set it up actually to make it 31-24 at that point, because we had some big plays by the Islanders. Evans hit Carson Cahoy for a 30-yarder. Then you had a Kean Wetling field goal. And after the Islanders take the lead, this would be the icing on the cake. Kojo Atikpahu, pick 6. Grand Island scores 31 unanswered in the second half. Defeat Omaha North 38-24. They do get Millard South into the next round of the playoffs. I'm Brandon Axmit, and those are your plays of the game. We're going to take another quick break. Jeff Tomlin's waiting for us, as well as our player of the game. We'll hear from them both coming up next. And welcome back here to Grand Island, Nebraska, where the Islanders just knocked off the Class A defending state champs, Omaha North, 38-24. And to do it, they scored 31 unanswered points in the second half alone. Coach Tomlin joining me now. Coach, it's pretty hard for me to really even comprehend as a broadcaster what I just witnessed. So you as a coach and what you guys just did to Omaha North, can you even describe and put into words and feelings what just happened out there?
Well, I'm very proud of our kids. They battled. They never. I got down. I mean, we were down a little bit, but the stop before halftime was big. I really thought that may be been the key play of the game, because we were still within striking distance then, and we challenged them to get a 3-and-out or a takeaway. When we kicked off after halftime, we got the fumble, and then we got on a roll. Cole got hot. It does what he does, and our kids just really played hard. I couldn't be prouder of them. Our leadership by our seniors is phenomenal. Our kids deserve all the credit.
Now, was there anything defensively you guys did different? Because they were pretty much running at will on you guys that first half, but whatever you did or whatever halftime speech you made, it seemed to make a difference in the second.
Well, we didn't tackle well at all first half. I give them a lot of credit. We didn't tackle well at all. I think, we ratcheted up our tackling, and then we started stunting just a little bit more second half. But it was mostly our kids and their will to win.
And looking back as well, I'm sticking with the defensive notes because there were so many. The one-on-one coverage, Ace McInnes and your cornerbacks, you just had pretty much them out on an island on one-on-one coverage, and your DBs were making plays.
Yeah, I got to give a lot of credit to those guys, because they definitely defended the island. They were on an island all night against some quality receivers, and I'm a really proud position coach, because they did a great job.
Coach, lastly, I'm going to talk to Cole Evans, the senior quarterback who got his first start since the Millard West game. So having him back is obviously something you're happy about. But in terms of the performance and what he did today, what can you say about it?
Well, Cole's leadership's invaluable. He has that character, that will to win, and our kids believe every time that Cole takes a snap, we're going to score. And they believe when he's behind under center. We don't go under center. When he's in gun, we're going to win. And you can't replace that leadership.
Coach, thank you for the time. Congrats on the big win, and best of luck next week.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Well, let's talk to our player of the game, Cole Evans. First off, how'd it feel getting back out there and starting on the field for you guys?
Good. It was awesome to be back out there with all my boys.
Well, let's talk about it. You guys were struggling. First, I think you had 3-and-outs to get things going on. Was it anything you were feeling specifically, or did something change for you at a point in the game where you just said, you know what, I got this?
Honestly, in the first half, we had everything we wanted. We just weren't executing. So came down to execution. Second half, we got it done and put up however many unanswered points and came out on top.
Well, knowing that you guys just knocked off Omaha North, the defending champs, and I think when you guys were down 24-0, maybe besides you guys, not many people were believing that you guys were going to do what you just did. How are you feeling now, realizing, hey, you're heading to the second round of the playoffs as a senior leader of this quarterback and of this team?
It's awesome. It's an awesome feeling.
Well, what does it take to keep this thing going?
Everything we did tonight, comes down to heart and execution, and we got a lot of both of that.
All right. Well, Cole Evans, our player of the game, congrats on the great performance. Best of luck next week.
Thank you.
That is Cole Evans, our Dream It, Do It player of the game. The quarterback senior leader helps the Islanders make the comeback as they defeat Omaha North 38-24. Again, the Islanders will get Millard South next week in the playoffs. We'll take one more quick break and wrap things up here from Grand Island.
This has been the Dream It, Do It Player of the Game interview here on News Channel Nebraska. Let your skills pay the bills. Check them out at dreamitdoit.com.
And welcome back here one last time, wrapping things up here from Grand Island on the Cornhusker Toyota Honda post-game show. Nebraska's only dual Toyota Honda dealer. Final score 38-24. The defending champs go down. Grand Island scores 31 unanswered points into that second half. And Andy, it's hard to put into words what we just saw, but it certainly is exciting for Grand Island fans and for the Grand Island program.
Yeah, that really wasn't about amazing of comeback as I've ever seen in the game of football. And that final score there really doesn't do the game justice as just to how close it really was in the last few minutes of the game. Grand Island got a late pick six there to kind of get some separation, but this was just an all-time battle of two excellent coached, excellent football teams here, Class A Nebraska high school football.
Special thanks to Jeff Tomlin for our Roe Buick and Roe Chevy coaches interview, where they're proud to recognize all the outstanding area athletes who play with pride. Visit rowcars.com. We have more football coming up tomorrow, actually. We'll be in Doane for that game, or at Crete, rather, for the Doane game. We also have plenty of playoffs coming up next week as well. We're going to put up our official schedule, but you can check everything out online at ncnsportsnow.com. We have 8-man on Wednesday, and again 11-man next Friday. And it really doesn't get much better of time of year than playoff football right now, but we are glad that you guys were able to watch with us here tonight. We appreciate the support. Special thanks to all our camera operators, Tyler Brasovsky in the truck. For Andy Klassen, I'm Brandon Axemit. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow in Crete.